T&D Sports, an exclusive video broadcast.
Welcome live to Mitchell Field in Long Island, New York. I'm your host, Mike Blewett, along with John Heffernan. We'll be bringing you today's edition, the 2025 edition of the National Championship game for the National Public Safety Football League, where the NYPD finest take on the Chicago PD Enforcers. John, obviously a hot one out here, but the action on the field is going to get even hotter as Chicago looks to capture their first ever title and NYPD looking to go back-to-back.
Well, yeah, Mike, the summer officially here. Temps going through the roof, and that could come into the equation in the fourth quarter as the high temperature is certainly going to be wearing down these guys as the game progresses. But as you said, the NYPD, the cream of the crop, two of the best in the NPSFL going head-to-head, and a national championship is on the line. Yeah,
it will be the 13th national championship for NYPD, or rather they have 13 going for 14 today. So we've gotten an opportunity to call a couple of their games this year. Very powerful team. They're able to run the ball with a lot of power and quickness. They have a couple of running backs in Woodley and certainly quarterback in Devin Quinlan that is a master of all trades, really. He's able to run and throw. They're a very difficult offense to contain, and that's where Chicago's work is going to be cut out for them.
Absolutely. Two of the premier backs in the National Public Safety Football League, and number 5, Justin Felder, and the aforementioned Will Woodley, who was the MVP of the Fun City Bowl just a couple of weeks ago. Right. And, Mike, you referred to them as lightning and thunder, and they are just that. Felder also in an amazing story, led the nation in rushing last year at New Haven Division II, was reached out by several NFL teams, including the New York Football Giants, the Washington Redskins, and lost his sight. Mysteriously became legally blind, had 7 surgeries, got his sight back, and is now showing what he can do on the gridiron as we go back to the field for the national anthem.
Jeff, give me a close-up on 4. Jeff, close-up on the ball stand quickly. Christian, give me a shot at NYPD on the left-hand side. Tight. Christian, NYPD. Christian, tight. Zone 2. Good tilt up.
Okay, excellent rendition of the national anthem I
got to give a little shout-out to Kayla Knight. Kayla Knight, ladies and gentlemen, the candidate for Nassau County legislatures of the 15th District, running for office as a Republican candidate out here in Long Island. A great job by Kayla. And, of course, the color guard from the NYPD. Mike, it's heating up. I'm getting excited.
Not too many candidates sing like that. You just got my vote as I live in Nassau County. It's a home game for me, too. So, obviously, we're going to go through all the starting lineups, the key spotlight players throughout these next few minutes before we get ready for kickoff. But I will say we're live on Fox Nation. They've supported our broadcasts all throughout the year. Excited to be here again on Fox Nation along with John to call today's game. So we talked a little bit about NYPD and some of the things that Chicago PD defense is going to have to deal with, but they're a great team in their own right. 4-0, both these teams undefeated on the season, John.
Absolutely. Chicago gunning for their first national championship in their 20th season. It's been a slow and steady rise for the Enforcers out of the Windy City. Division II national champions jumped up to Division I. They are 0-3 in the national championship game. They put together an undefeated season during a COVID year, which didn't allow them to participate in a national championship. And according to all their coaching staff, the entire roster, year 20, things are going to change, and Chicago is here in New York to show what they're all about.
These two teams did meet for the national championship back in 2018, a shutout for NYPD, one of their many national championships. So a couple of spotlight here. You see Elon Chamberlain of the Chicago Police Department. He played baseball at Jarvis University in Texas, but this is his fourth season with the Chicago PD Enforcers. He'll be their right tackle, holding it down on the offensive line, as well as Canton Drew on the other side, Chicago Fire Department. So to pause there for a second, we call it the Chicago PD Enforcers, but there are many of these municipal teams in the National Public Safety Football League that pull players from different services. So,
and namely because the fire department in Chicago did have a successful program
right
at one time and discontinued it for a variety of reasons, which has made their players eligible to come over to the PD side in Chicago as we see the coin toss at midfield, Mike.
So Drew, the defensive end there in his first season with the team, he will be a force to be reckoned with, and that NYPD offensive line that we've talked about quite a bit throughout the year will have to contain him and the rest of the Chicago PD rush. So looking for the coin toss results here. See, it's going to be Chicago wins the toss. There it looks like they're deferring. Well, let's see what we got here. NYPD taking the ball.
Anthony O'Connell, one of the team captains for PD, right there at the 50-yard line. He's joined by number 31 and Adam Landisberg for PD, number 32 Mustafa Young, strong up the middle defensively, and it looks like, Mike, it will be the Chicago Enforcers.
They deferred, it looks
who
like.
Who are going to defer.
And NYPD is going to take the ball. So there we go. We have our first decision of the game. Let's take a look at that NYPD offense, gentlemen. That has been powerful throughout the year. Just to give you a sense of what they've looked like so far this year. In their 4 games, NYPD 36-6 over Roanoke, beat Tri-State 35-0. It's a New York team. Dallas 34-0. And FDNY 24-6 in the Fun City Bowl that John and I call. There you see David and Quinlan there at QB. We talked about William Woodley and Justin Felder, that Thunder and Lightning running back duo. But the wide receivers there, Chris McGrain, Kyle Johnson, Mike Miller are a handful as well.
And Chris McGrain with a big touchdown reception in the Fun City Bowl as the police department defeated the fire department in New York for bragging rights, which propelled them here today to the national championship here in Uniondale, New York. And Mike, I also have to add a combined 258 yards for Felder and Woodley. I mean, you talk about an impressive backfield, breaking all kinds of records, and we'll see more of that here today.
Totally dominant. Here's a few of the players to highlight. We talked about Canton Drew. Samson Ty wearing number 15 today at linebacker for Chicago. He's one of their key players. Doug Hartke as well at linebacker. We'll talk about those guys. And here's the kick. That kick is short, but picked up on the bounce by Johnson. He waits a while, but he's going to take it across the 20. He breaks out past the 25, past the 30, past the 40-yard line, up to midfield. Johnson's going to get the NYPD into great position here, John, to start the game. Be 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line.
And, Mike, if there was any doubt about number 9 being ready to go today, he just showed you he's 100% healthy, was banged up in the Fun City Bowl, held without a catch in that ball game, but on special teams here, a huge return for the wide receiver and kickoff returner, number 9, Kyle Johnson, who gives the police department amazing field position right around midfield on this first offensive series.
So just a huge return there. Ball was bounding around on the ground. Johnson hesitated, provided a little bit of a stutter step there and broke through the defense. But here we are, Quinlan back to pass on first down. He's looking for Johnson. He's got him complete. Tackled right at the spot of the catch, but good for 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4, John.
And Mike, Davian Quinlan, it's been kept under wraps for most of the last couple of weeks, but was really, really banged up after that fire department win in the Fun City Bowl. He's at about 80%, according to head coach Clive Harding. Clive Harding told me before the game, Mike, as long as we can prop up number 8 and have him manage the game, he'll give us a shot to win.
Jalen Woods on the tackle, number 27 for Chicago PD. Woodley in the backfield here with Quinlan. Johnson out to his right, and the handoff is to Woodley. Right up the middle, he barrels for about 3 yards.
So Woodley looking to establish the run. And Mike, this is no surprise to the Chicago defense. They know exactly what PD brings offensively. PD makes no secrets. It's smash mouth football. It's controlling the line of scrimmage. And we are going to run until the wheels fall off between Woodley and Felder to try to create offense here today. It may not be the prettiest football, but it is down and dirty in the trenches.
All right, 3rd down. Quinlan back to pass. He's across the middle. That ball knocked away again. Jalen Woods on the coverage. A big play there on 3rd down. It'll be 4th and 2. 4th and 2 from the 43-yard line of Chicago. Kind of in no man's land here. They can't kick the field goal. 60 is too long for Zabransky, their kicker. But, John, I think they're going to be aggressive here and go for it on 4th.
Well, let's take a look one more time. You're right, Jalen Woods. Look at how perfectly he plays this. Extends that left hand. Kind of cheating to his left to see the quarterback. Also not losing responsibility of his number 1 receiver that he's covering, and just swatted it away. Textbook coverage by number 27 for Chicago PD, Jalen Woods.
So a tackle and a pass defense already for Woods in these first couple of plays. And here we go. We got a dual backfield here. It's Quinlan under center with Woodley and Felder behind the line of scrimmage. Felder's going to get the carry. Woodley leading the way. He's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A huge hit there by Chicago. Drops Felder for a loss. That's number 48, I believe, on the tackle. That is Rick Richardson, the big linebacker for Chicago PD. It's 1st down. Chicago.
Rick Richardson, the hardest hitter in the National Public Safety League. And he absolutely explodes. Running into a brick wall is Felder. And Richardson stands up Felder. And it's a flurry of Chicago defenders finishing the job, started by big number 48, Rick Richardson, out of the Wheeling Police Department. The veteran setting the tone early for the Chicago defense.
All right, so Adam Tapling, the quarterback for Chicago PD, is back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket. No, he completes the pass. He started to roll to his left, completes the pass. That is complete to number 80, and that is Rob Kudzia, the wide receiver for Chicago PD. So they pick up a few. That's good for 5.
Rob Kudzia, one of the go-to targets for Tapling. Tapling in his 7th season. You know, some of his attributes, Mike, if you watch Tapling, he is one of the best athletes on this Chicago team. And according to head coach Brian Fennelly, he could play any position on the field. He was a wide receiver in college and is just very, very patient.
Tapling gets a screen pass out complete and good for a 1st down. So a little bubble screen right there. That's to number
Trent Yancey.
Number 17, Trent Yancey.
Out of the Chicago Fire Department. Yancey, like you said, it's the screen, nothing fancy, but Yancey makes it a little fancy with a couple of big moves for a few extra yards.
So a couple of big plays there for Chicago to start. It's simple to start the game here offensively, but they do pick up a 1st down. They're already NYPD territory. 1st and 10 from the NYPD 46. Tapling back to pass again. That is off the hands of a defender Have to see who that is, the jersey tucked in there.
It's number 3 for the FDNY. Great coverage.
NYPD.
I'm sorry, NYPD. Kendall Clark.
Kendall Clark.
The linebacker for the finest. And nearly an interception, Mike. Right through the hand.
All right, so good play there by Clark. He probably wants that one back if he could get the interception there. But, all right, here we go. We finally have somebody in the backfield here for Chicago with somebody behind tackling there. And it's going to be handed off to number 2. That's Brian Piscascio, I believe.
Piscascio. He, a 2-time Offensive Player of the Year for Chicago. Kind of reminds me of Saquon Barkley. They call him Quadzilla. The guy's got huge legs, and he's a power north-south guy, Mike. Loves contact as well.
Looks
we
like
got
we
a
got a
face
flag
mask
here and a face mask on NYPD finest. So first down again for Chicago.
And I got to add, Piscascio, wanted to make sure I said his name right. He also came up to me before the game, Mike, and he said, I said, you sure you want to use the word guarantee? He goes, I guarantee a win today for Chicago PD, and I get the MVP. I said, listen, I'm giving you a chance to back off a little bit. He said, all right, I'm gunning. I'm gunning for the MVP, and we're going to take our first national championship.
I appreciate the confidence. They're going to need a big performance out of him and the rest of this offense in order. NYPD has not allowed more than 6 points in a game yet this year, but they're knocking on the red zone right here in their first drive. Here's Tappling back to pass. He's out to Piscascio, and Piscascio good for 5. Spin move there gets him down to the 25-yard line, so 2nd and 5.
Piscascio, you said it, Mike, a little Cinderella move right here. Tappling under pressure, just a pass into the flat, and man, oh man, he's doing a little bit of everything. You see the dexterity and the power at the end as he puts his helmet down and forges ahead.
All right, so it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line. Just 4 minutes gone in the first quarter in this national championship game. Again, live on Fox Nation from Mitchell Field on Long Island. NYPD finest on defense right now. Tappling back to pass again. He's going deep for the end zone. He's got number 19. Complete for the touchdown. That's Brandon Ruffin. They're on the board.
Brandon Ruffin with the gorgeous catch in the end zone. And Chicago PD is on the board. And what a beautiful rainbow pass from Tappling. Tappling, who left the Chicago Police Department after 6 years, is now a firefighter. Plenty of time to throw the football, Mike, and wide open in the end zone. It's Ruffin with the beautiful catch as he gets behind the secondary, and Chicago has come out flying, Mike.
I think it was Kevon Pinnock on the coverage. They certainly found that one-on-one look that they liked. No safeties stayed home on that one, and really a beautiful throw and catch there. Ruffin with the touchdown, and here's number 10 with the kick. Number 10 is Chris Lenti.
Off the post.
Off the post, no good. NYPD still has not allowed an opposing offense to crest the 6-point mark. We're going to hit a break. Live on Fox Nation. We'll be back after this.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
We're live from Mitchell Field here on Long Island. 6-0 Chicago Enforcers over the NYPD Finest. Here's Tapling handling the kickoff duties as well. He just threw a touchdown pass moments ago, and this one is going to be on the ground and picked up again by Kyle Johnson. There's a flag on the play. Johnson pushed out at the 30-yard line. We'll sort out the flag, but first, let's get another look at that touchdown pass from Tapling to Ruffin.
Well, Rich Lane, the offensive coordinator for the Enforcers, calls it a 5-wide empty. 4 wide receivers and that running back. But the bottom line is it's a great protection for Tapling, and the one-on-one coverage, a rainbow pass, and going up to bring it down, it's number 17, I should say, Trent Yancey, and you couldn't have played it any better. They call Rich Lane, the OC for the Enforcers, the Wizard. This is a young guy who is a brilliant mind as far as offensive schemes are concerned, and right now the Enforcers are forcing their will on the New York City Police Department.
Forgive me if I got that wide receiver wrong on the touchdown. A great pass by Tapling. All right, it'll be after the flag is sorted out. We are going to have the NYPD 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So it goes against NYPD.
Correct.
On the flag. And Mike,
we've seen with NYPD in the past, Quinlan and O'Connell mix it up a little bit at the QB position. I think we're going to have a dose of Quinlan today as long as he remains healthy. And here he is, back to pass on 1st down. He's flushed out to his right. Run good for about 5 yards. I got to say, John, he doesn't look like his normal self in terms of his acceleration.
Mobility.
He's able to pick up a few yards there.
We talked about that lower body injury, and Quinlan at about 80% steps up in the pocket, decides to safely run it out of bounds, and the veteran, number 8, Quinlan, will now be in the shotgun. Second down.
Shotgun formation. Felder to his right. He's got 4 wide. He's back to pass. Looking across the middle. No, he dumps it off to Felder, who's going to pick up about 5. And that, based on the spot, should be a 1st down. They do get it. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 30.
Yeah, Justin Felder doing just enough to move the sticks, Mike, and a big 1st down. The New York City Police Department wants to respond here. So important to keep this game in balance.
Yeah, this is their first time this year that they have trailed, so it's a unique position, unique situation for them.
And just the second touchdown
season
they've given up all year. The other one coming against the fire department in the Fun City Bowl, where the game was really out of hand, Mike.
Correct.
Late in the 4th quarter.
24-0 at that point.
And this New York City football team has never lost a game to an out-of-state team since 1973.
It's a long time, John. So here we go. Quinlan back to pass. He's under pressure. That's good to McGrain, but it's behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be dropped for a loss there. It'll be 2nd down and about 12. You know, fundthefirst.com is the number one trusted and free fundraising platform for those who serve their families and their friends. Fund the First is in the business of supporting first responders, military, and medical professionals. Visit fundthefirst.com today to launch your fundraiser. You know, John, these teams are not funded by the cities or the states in which they reside. They rely a lot on donations, and you can certainly go to the league and the individual team pages in order to find more information on how to donate.
It's all for the love of the game, Mike. And John Simmons in on the play for the Enforcers, had a Cook County Forest play, last play.
All right, Quinlan back to pass here. Felder leaks out of the backfield. He does catch that one, and that's good for a gain of about 6. It'll bring it back to 3rd and about 6 now for NYPD.
But again, excellent pressure here by Chicago as they're giving Quinlan all sorts of problems in on the pursuit. Despite the completion was Timmy Bell, number 99, out of the Chicago PD. Quinlan hanging in there.
Aaron Chappell of D.C. for Chicago. Got to be happy so far. Obviously making some big plays defensively, and we'll see if they can come up with another big one here on 3rd and 6. It is Quinlan in the shotgun formation. Felder to his right. Bunch formation to his left, and he's going to be looking to his left, but he is flushed out of the pocket. That one is underthrown and picked off by number 43. We do have a flag down on the play.
And a flag in the backfield as well, Mike. I think that's going to go against Chicago.
Both flags, I think, might be Chicago for pass interference and a late hit.
A roughing the passer or a hit to the head on quarterback Quinlan is what it appears call will be. 2
clear flags. Here's what I would say on the pass interference. That ball was so badly underthrown, I don't know that that should be a flag. We'll take another look at it after we sort out these flags, but clearly it's going to be a first down for NYPD.
And Quinlan looked like he got swatted in the head.
Sorry, that's a hold.
Ooh,
these are going to be offsetting penalties. We're replaying it. Big
turn
hold
of
there.
Events.
We thought Quinlan might have taken a late hit here, but if we can see the pass here.
The hold is on number 72.
And number 15, Samson Ty, gets his hand up, and it's underthrown. They say Johnson was interfered with. I didn't see it at all.
Watch the hold here. Jamie Martinez, the right tackle.
Number 72, yeah.
He'll get called for the hold.
What he had to do in that instance, he thought Quinlan was going to get rocked, and he probably would have if Martinez doesn't. Here's Quinlan back to pass. He's flushed out to his left. He is going to pass it and overthrows it. He had number 17, Brian Dice, open, but sort of awkward the way he was trying to throw back across his body, and that one's going to fall incomplete. Punting time for NYPD.
And Brian Dice, though, Mike, wide open. Yep. Always tough to run through the middle. Got to be fearless, but Quinlan could not find his man, and it'll be the police department from New York City to punt here on 4th down. And credit this Chicago defense, Mike, and they're going to have pretty darn good field position as well.
Yeah, Tom Zabransky handles the kicking duties, number 91 for NYPD. Initial reactions, John, early on in this game, the Chicago PD defense bringing it to the NYPD offensive line that has been the most dominant unit we've watched all season.
They have matched up extremely well, and a bad kick
from Zabransky. He gets a good roll, but it bounds out at the 43-yard line. That is a 17-yard punt, John.
And he had a 61-yarder against the fire department in the Fun City Bowl, so Zabransky off on that one.
All right, we're going to get a break right now. Come back with more action from the 2025 National Championship game. Here from Mitchell Field on Long Island. Chicago Enforcers up 6-0 on NYPD. NYPD's first deficit of the entire season, just halfway through the first quarter. And here's Adam Tappan back to pass. He double clutches and he's rolling back out to his left under pressure. He throws incomplete at about midfield.
So, Mike, one thing we got to focus in on, Billy Sullivan was telling me before the game, Mustafa Young, Kendall Clark, Earl Lucas, Manny Tejada, Mo Evans, of course, who played in the middle in the NFL. Strength up the middle defensively is the key and has been the key all season long for the New York City Police Department. And we've seen some cracks up the middle, really for the first time this season, from this defense, vaunted defense of the New York City Police Department. Let's see how they respond here.
Okay, Tapling back in shotgun formation. This one's a handoff to Piscascio, and he is run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. Big tackle there by Ime, number 30.
Yeah. Piscascio talked a big game before the game. Looked to turn that run into something. But excellent pursuit by number 30 from the finest That was Ife Ima, linebacker, showing his speed and his ability to pursue the run. He has been a stalwart at linebacker all season long and a starter here today.
Like you said, that NYPD finest linebacking core, really the strength of the defense. I don't think they're going to go at them too hard today. They've clearly been trying to attack the defensive backs early on. We'll see how they can respond here on a big 3rd down and 12, John. After the bad punt, Chicago Enforcers in a tough position here, and it looks like NYPD is sending it. Ime's sending on the blitz, and Tapling's going to run for it and get dragged down right at the 50. That ball squirted loose. I think he might have been down before the ball came loose. He's right at the 50-yard line. It will be 4th down and 4. Do you punt? Do you get aggressive? What do you do here, John?
Kind of in no man's land here. Tapling making something out of nothing. Look at the speed. Very patient. Decides to step up. Sees the pocket collapsing. Gains some precious yards, about 5 yards short of the 1st down. And Mike, it looks like they are going to go.
They are going to go here. So again, 4th and 4 right at midfield. Tapling with that big 7-yard run to give them some breathing room. He's got Piscasio next to him, and no, he's going to pooch punt it, and he does get it away. That's going to be fair caught right at the 20-yard line. Interesting strategy there. I kind of like the call. They don't have to deal with NYPD taking the ball over midfield. We have to deal with getting our sponsors some love. We'll do that and come right back with more action after this.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
Okay, we are back live here with Chicago holding on to that 6-0 lead. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. NYPD, their 3rd possession, both of the first 2 fruitless. We'll see what they can do here. They failed on 4th down in the first possession, then punted. Here we are. It's Woodley up the middle, I believe, or Felder. Sorry, that's Felder up the middle. Good for 5 yards, John.
Good 5-yard run. And listen, the police department of New York City has got to start playing a little more smash-mouth football. Hall of Famer Billy Sullivan told me before the game, and I want to congratulate Billy, being honored pregame as one of the newest members in the induction class of 2024. The latest Hall of Famer, along with 3 others. We're going to cover a little bit more of that at halftime. But Billy said we pride ourselves in smash-mouth football. Let's see what PD can do here.
Felder gets the carry again, and there's another flag down. That's going to be a hold, I think, as Felder got the sweep off the right side. Good for a few yards. I think that one's coming back.
You know, we haven't seen a ton of Will Woodley in this game yet, Mike. 1-2 combination of Felder and Woodley that worked so well in the Fun City Bowl.
All right, here's Kendall Clark, a player spotlight, linebacker for NYPD. His 2nd season with the finest. He played at Morrisville State College. He's the one that he defended a pass earlier in the game. You see that signature jersey tucked in. You'll know that's Kendall Clark. You see that jersey tucked underneath the pads. He's been a real force in that linebacking crew this year.
Absolutely. You know, I just mentioned him earlier, up the middle, the strength up the middle defensively. Although it's the PD offense and Davian Quinlan right now trying to get things going.
All right, Felder just met hard at the line of scrimmage. He does make a couple of yard gain out of it, but after the holding penalty, it's going to bring them to 3rd and 13. So NYPD finest offense, John. predicated this entire season on they are versatile, but this entire success of this season has been predicated on their offensive line dominating opposing defenses, and that is not happening early on in this game.
Not with the likes of number 59, Scott Robinson, Chicago Fire Department. You see Robinson come up and just lay the pop. And these guys are not intimidated at all.
3rd and 13, Quinlan back to pass in shotgun formation. He's looking deep, and he's gonna try to find McGrain. Two guys in the same spot. Brian Dice and Chris McGrain in the exact same spot. Somebody not running the right route, and Quinlan threw it up there and falls incomplete over everybody.
Yeah, and Dice Jr., you see, gets all jammed up here, turned the other way, despite perhaps 2 routes not being run correctly. Dice Jr. had a chance at this one if maybe he just turned the other way.
Yeah, it's hard to say who that was intended for. I think he saw McGrain sliding across the field, but unfortunately they missed an opportunity there. Dice, to your point, he had a shot.
So that'll bring up 4th down and a punting situation here for the NYPD. And Mike, you nailed it. As far as this battle in the trenches, Chicago in a low-scoring game here in the first quarter has really, really impressed.
Sabransky gets off a better kick this time. We'll see if he gets a friendly roll. He does not really. And that one is going to be down at the 43-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Chicago. We'll take a quick break and come back with more in the 2025 National Championship game.
My mom was the most amazing person in my life.
I would definitely consider my mom as a hero.
I love and miss my mom very much.
The worst day of my life was the day that my mother was murdered on July 5th, 2017. That same night in the hospital, when my brother and sister asked me who was going to take care of them after I had to break the horribly tragic news that our mother had been murdered, I said, I will take care of you.
There are over 1,000 families that need our help. Tunnel to Towers is honoring those heroes that risked their lives by providing them with mortgage-free homes.
First responders are human too. They have fears and families that they need to come home to. For just $11 a month, you can give back to these heroes who gave up so much for you and ensure that their families will always have a home.
Please donate $11 a month by visiting tunneltotowers.org or calling 1-844-BRAVESS. Thank you.
All right, we are back live from Mitchell Field here on Long Island. 6-0. We are nearing the end of the first quarter, but quick possessions. NYPD's had it 3 times already, as has Chicago. They were successful with a touchdown drive to start the game. And here's a couple of those key players on offense. Tappling, we've mentioned his name, obviously, several times. Andrew Pena Kudzia was targeted earlier. Piscasio is the running back. And here is number 17. That's Yancey with the catch on the screen. He pushes a defender out of the way and fights for about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yep, Yancey with the reception. Picking up a couple of yards here in first down. Safe play. And a fake handoff. And they've done a lot of that, Mike. A lot of screen passes from both of these teams here in the first half.
Just trying to get the ball out quick into some playmakers' hands, right?
Exactly right. 2 of the best defenses in the league. Chicago gave up around 15 points a game to the New York City Police Department's 3.
As Piscasio trying to fight for yards. The ball's down. Do we have an actual fumble? Let's see what we have here. Let's see what the officials have to say. Kendall Clark celebrating. No call from the officials yet. A very important call here for Chicago. And it is NYPD ball. Wow. Kendall Clark was celebrating. He might have been in on the hit. Let's take another look at it. A big turnover here. Could be a momentum changer. Piscasio fighting for yards here, John. He slips, and then it's Kendall Clark. Kendall Clark and Matthew Weiss, number 70, on the play.
We talked about strength up the middle, and you saw it right there from Weiss. And a little nonchalant from Piscasio. He had 2 hands on the football, and when he got to the line, he did a deep move, took one arm off the ball and stripped by Clark and Weiss in on the play, and our first turnover of the ball game, Mike.
Yeah, big turnover here. Let's see what Quinlan can make of it. And a quick hitter there to Obenheim. He's got the ball. He's past the 40. Big tackle there, though. One-on-one tackle. Nice play by number 43 for Chicago. That's Randall Maxey.
And the 6'2", 220-pound tight end for the New York City Police Department, Sean Obenheim, with the great grab, wide open, and the yards after the catch. This is a prototypical tight end. This guy was made to play football, in my opinion. One of the highest IQs, football-wise, on this police department team. Been part of the team for 10 years and is coming into his own here in 2025.
Here's the toss to Felder. He sneaks out to the outside, gets across the 35, down to the 30-yard line. Good for a first down, and NYPD is going to keep it moving. Again, I can't stress enough the types of plays that Kendall Clark and Matthew Weiss, both of those players, have made throughout this season. Matthew Weiss, the defensive tackle, maybe doesn't have as many style points as some of those linebackers, but is a key cog on this team and was in on that turnover.
Well, as George Burke says, he's the man that clogs up the middle, the longtime president of the NYPD. Big fan of Weiss, one of the best all-around defenders on this PD team.
They go back to Felder on the toss, and he is bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. Dumped for a loss, but a flag comes in late. Is that going to be a face mask?
That or a late hit.
So Felder dumped for a 7-yard loss, but they might get a reprieve here as he was gang tackled in that backfield. The toss was to the left. The toss was to the left from Quinlan, and Felder decided to improv it and came all the way back to his right. And you can see here, he is in trouble as soon as he cuts it back here. And he's met by several defenders. I don't see a face mask. Did they pick that up? They do. They pick it up. So they're all that for naught. He is dropped for the 7-yard loss, and it's back to the 4-yard line.
Well, Felder.
End of the first quarter here. Let's take a break. We'll talk about Jason Felder when we come back right here on Fox News.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise. I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know. And we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Okay, we are back here live in the national championship game. End of the first quarter, 6-0. Chicago over NYPD. The Billy Boone Foundation, organ donation can profoundly impact not just recipients, but donors and communities as well. We strive to be that lifeline of support for those in need. Please visit BillyMoonFoundation.org for more information on how you can register to become an organ donor today. So, 6-0, John. Confusing play at the end of that first quarter. It looks like there was a flag that was picked up, and it'll be second and long for NYPD.
Well, when you think about the Chicago Police Department and the year that they've put together, Mike, under Brian Fennelly in his third season as the head coach, he played 3 years, an offensive guard, Hall of Famer on the Chicago team. He talks about believing in one another. He was getting emotional with me before the game, Mike. Brian Fennelly lives and breathes Chicago football, and he's a deputy chief in Martin Grove, Illinois, and he talked about discipline, mistake-free football. Fennelly had the tears coming down the cheeks, how much this game means to them. one of the least penalized teams in the NPSFL, the Chicago
Enforcers. Here we
Enforcers.
go. Felder gets the ball again, dumped again for a loss. 5-yard loss on the play, moving backwards here. Felder gets the ball back-to-back plays, 12 results in 12 yards of losses, and it'll be third and really long now for NYPD. That's going to be 22 yards, third and 22.
And just another thing defensively, I want to give a shout-out to Jason Nkita for the Enforcers. Not playing today. Usually the starting nose tackle just had a baby a couple of days ago and did not make the trip to New York. He's been replaced at nose tackle by Sealask. And Sealask stepping up and doing a terrific job as Nkita shows us all that there are more important things in life than football. But Jason, congratulations, big guy. We wish you were here.
All right, here we go. Third and 22. Quinlan with Felder in the backfield. He's looking to pass. He does have time. He throws deep, but into coverage. And is that picked up? It is. One-hand catch. That is Randall Maxey with the one-hand interception. Again, 2 wide receivers in the same area for NYPD, and I think Quinlan wants that one back.
Well, this guy Maxey's used to hanging out of windows, fighting fires in Chicago, and he comes up with the spectacular interception. Acrobatic one-hander on the deep ball from Quinlan, and telegraphs it beautifully while tightrope walking. With the right hand, he brings it in, and head coach Fennelly told me Randall Maxey has taken our secondary to another level. Maxey, 43 years old, Mike Blewett. He looks like a kid out there.
Yeah, amazing play there. One-handed catch. Again, I'm a little confused what's going on with NYPD's offense. Brian Dice, Kyle Johnson in the same area again. Second time, I think we had a little bit of a mix-up. But Maxey with the one-handed interception, he dropped Obenheim for a big tackle earlier, preventing a first down. And here we are. Despite the fact that they don't have great field position, it is Chicago Enforcers, and Tapling back to pass. He slips in the end zone, but squeezes out and throws incomplete, intended for number 80 on the play. That's Rob Kudzia again, and it is going to be second down from their own 6-yard line.
But, Tapling is just relentless. He refuses to give up on the play until the very last moment and nearly found his receiver, Kudzia.
Okay, so let's, if we can flash a quick graphic on the NYPD defense. We talked about a bunch of the players already, Matthew Weiss and Kendall Clark. John mentioned a couple of the guys earlier. That's Ime has made a couple of plays, number 30, Tejada, number 10. You'll hear his name, certainly. But Earl Lucas and Mustafa Young going to be really key here, keeping that Chicago wide receiving core at bay. So here we go with just a couple of minutes gone in the second quarter. Chicago runs it up the middle. That's Piscasio again, and he gets it out to the 9-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 7, John.
Speedy Piscasio, number 2.
It's got a tricky last name.
Man, I'm telling you.
We're not going to lie.
I don't.
It's Piscasio. So that's what we're going with. If we're corrected, so be it. But he has been PD defense and, frankly, the offensive coordinator that John has called out a couple of times already. That's Rich Lane. He's a tactical officer for the Chicago Police Department. And it looks like they don't like what they see. It's going to be a timeout for Chicago PD. We'll take a timeout and come back with more action on Fox Nation.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief, or renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
All right, we are back here with Chicago in a tough spot, 3rd and 7 from their own 9-yard line. Tappling back to pass. He goes deep, looking for Ruffin. That's picked off. Picked off by NYPD down the sidelines. Number 32, that is Mustafa Young. We just highlighted their defensive backs. And, John, they come up with a huge play. Mustafa Young returns it all the way down to the 6-yard line. Somebody's shaking up, I believe, on the play. But let's get another replay here, Johnny. What do you got?
Biggest third down of the day for Chicago. Tappling rifles it downfield, but stepping right in front of it, number 32, Mustafa Young. And look at the lead block there by number 16, Earl Lucas, knowing his responsibilities. And I got to tell you, Mike, this has been a defensive battle, but a key turnover here has absolutely flipped the script. And PD in the red zone is knocking on the door.
And you got Woodley here that is right next to Quinlan. And they're going to go with a power look there. Quinlan runs it into the end zone. Woodley with the lead block. Quinlan across the goal line. Touchdown NYPD. We are tied at 6.
Wow, Quinlan, he was so patient. He waited for that hole to open up a little bit and scampered right in, making it look easy. Number 8 taking this game into his own hands quite literally, leading the New York City Police Department into the end zone, and we're tied at 6.
Nothing fancy about that one. William Woodley with the lead block. Quinlan runs right behind him, and Chicago PD stunned a little bit there. The interception, next play, touchdown. And here's Zabransky in for the extra point to try to give NYPD the lead.
Very important extra point here, Mike, obviously. The special teams, such a big part of the game.
And that one's good. Right down the middle. Zabransky good. 7-6 NYPD. We'll talk about that touchdown when we come back.
What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
All right, 7-6 is the new score. 12 minutes and 7 seconds left in the second quarter. NYPD takes the lead on the keeper from Quinlan, which was preceded by a huge interception by Mustafa Young. Matthew Weiss with the pressure, if I any Ime on the coverage, and Mustafa Young comes up with the pick and the big run back, John.
And also, Chicago really backed up in their own end towards the end. They've had the luxury of good field position for most of this game, Mike, and it was the first big third down where Tappling was forced to throw the ball and turned it over.
Great point. Great point. They clearly made a big play there on the interception of Quinlan right before that. It gave them tough field position, but it really was the pressure on that play from Weiss and the coverage that allowed Mustafa Young to make that big play. And those units right back out there. So NYPD finest defense. That ball kicked through the end zone. They'll take over at the 35-yard line, as with the dynamic kickoff rules, didn't give an opportunity to return that. That ball is going to go to the 35, and you have Tappling in the shotgun formation. Quick hitter over to Yancey, who's dropped right as he catches it. That's number 29, Pinnock. Pinnock with the tackle, and it'll be 2nd and 9 for Chicago PD.
Kevon Pinnock laying out the boom right here. The D-back for the New York City Police Department. Look at the ground he covers.
Right there for the finest 29.
And plays that beautifully. And, you know, there's an offensive lineman for Chicago, number 69, Jelani Edwards, 6'8", 290. He's playing left tackle today.
He can play whatever he wants at that size, John. Nobody's going to tell him not to play whatever position he wants to play.
An imposing force.
Oh, here's Piscasio. Breaks through the line of scrimmage and a big first down. Nothing fancy about that, but a big first down.
And let's take a look at that one more time. The aforementioned number 69, Jelani Edwards at left tackle. Beautiful block here. Look at the hole he opens up. My goodness. Jelani Edwards is a handful.
Big time work by that entire offensive line. Springs him for 14 yards and a first down.
Piscasio with his biggest run of the day, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 1st and 10 from their own 48. Here's Chicago. Shotgun formation, delayed handoff look, but Tapling pumps and goes for it. On down the left side, he picks up a first down. Good for 10 yards. A little pump fake there, John, and a delayed draw there by the QB.
Mike, another thing to mention, as once again we see Tapling on the move. A little pump fake, and that froze. Number 3 for the finest, Kendall Clark, which enables Tapling to extend that to a first down. And, you know, Mike, this offensive line in 2025 for the Chicago Enforcers has given up a grand total of 1 sack this season, not including this game. So it gives you an indication of how committed this offensive line.
Protecting Tapling well, and obviously his athleticism helping them throughout the year and on that play. All right, Piscasio gets the handoff there. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That's a 2-yard loss on the play. Big tackle there by number 45, Mo Evans.
The Penn State alum, Mo Evans, went on to take his talents to the National Football League. Oh, that's just gorgeous, Mo. That is just a textbook tackle by big number 45. And he does such a great job at not only containing that edge.
This is his 2nd season with the finest. He played at Penn State and with the Giants. Certainly wants to contribute to this team in a big way, and he does so on that first down play. It'll be 2nd and 11 officially from the 43-yard line, and Tapling back to pass. He's got it to number 80, and that one is complete.
And in on the tackle for NYPD, number 10, Manny Tejada. Mo Evans.
Kudzi on the catch there, John. We've called his name a few times. Obviously, the reliable sort of slot receiver that they have in Kudzi, and he picks up.
In that last game for Chicago against San Diego, it was number 80 with some huge receptions to extend the undefeated season for Chicago. If you're just joining us, both of these teams at 4-0. Chicago vying for their first national championship. They trail 7-6. And Mike, this is turning into an absolute gem here at Mitchell Field.
All right, there's Tapling back to pass. Oh, off the hands of Ruffin. Really tight throw there. High degree of difficulty play, and a ball knocked free by the NYPD defense. It'll be 4th and down from the 39-yard line. 4th and about 7. I think they're showing to be aggressive here. I think they're going to go for it here, Johnny. So no field goal, little outside of their field goal range, but a big 4th down here. NYPD shuffling players on and off the field. If I were NYPD, I would consider calling a timeout. They do not appear ready.
And this is just an absolutely huge play right here.
Yeah, Tapling back to pass. They got crossers here. He's got Yancey complete for the first down. I'm telling you, NYPD did not look ready for that at all.
You called it,
and
Mike.
Yancey had an easy pitch and catch there for the first down.
And, you know, you got to credit Chicago for not wasting any time. Also find it interesting, a little bit of a non-traditional throwing motion from Tappling, a little on the sidearm in his delivery. A fairly quick release.
Matt Stafford action there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Matt Stafford's got the different arm angles. Aaron Rodgers, different arm angles. And now here we got Adam Tappling. Done a nice job so far. Obviously the interception he wants back, but done a nice job getting the Chicago offense down the field on this drive. And it'll be from the 25, first and 10 for Chicago. Handoff to Piscasio, who gets through the middle. Picks up about 5 yards down to the 21-yard line, and it'll be second and 5 from the 16. From the 21.
A very, very good drive here by Chicago. They just keep pounding away. A war of attrition between this defensive front for PD and this big offensive line for Chicago as Piscasio goes right up the gut.
So, like John mentioned earlier, NYPD has 13 national championships since the league began in earnest in 1998. Chicago yet to pull one off. Just their second appearance in the national championship game. The last time was against NYPD in 2018, where they lost 16-0. We'll see what they got here. All right, we got a little power run here. It's number 34 for the
Dave Moore.
PD. There you go, Dave Moore. And a huge back, Dave Moore.
Dave Moore, and one of 4 guys that conceivably will be getting touches today for Chicago. It's not just the Piscasio show, Speedy as they call him. Brandon Brooks, also number 1 for Chicago, part of this strong running back stable for head coach Brian Fennelly in just his 3rd season. I also want to give a shout out to Sergeant Jason Slater, 14 years, a linebacker on the Chicago team, now in his 1st year as team president. And these guys have been great to communicate with, and they've given us all the access we want.
That ball is complete to Ruffin. Is that a late hit? Is that a late hit? Yes, it is. And personal foul on Ime, number 30. Let's take a look at that again, guys. He got it off a quick pass to Ruffin here for a short gain, which would have picked up the first down. But at the end of it, check out Ime here as he gets. Ooh. I mean, he came up high, I think. I don't think that's late. It's not late to me. But I think he came up a little high on that.
It's one of those right in the middle kind of things. Might be a tad late, Mike. That's close. That's really close.
That one's not late to me, but he did come up high. So if they're calling him for a shot above the shoulders, then I could see it.
But either way, Ruffin makes the catch.
Yeah.
And Tappling seems unfazed.
Yeah. So first down, it's going to be at the 7-yard line for Chicago. Knocking on the door here again, John, trying to take the lead back. And we got a timeout. NYPD takes the timeout now. With 5 minutes left in the first half, we'll take a quick break on Fox Nation to come back with more national championship action.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
Spotlight here on Brandon Ruffin. He caught the touchdown pass earlier from Tappling and just caught that first down pass. Obviously, there's a penalty tacked on top of it, which brings it down to the 7-yard line. He's a Chicago PD member and played for the University of St. Francis. But here we are. First down And Tapling rolls out to his right. There is a flag on the play. He throws it to the end zone, knocked away by Mustafa Young, intended for Yancey. There was a flag right at the onset of that play, and I think we might have a hold on
Chicago.
The defense. No, that's on NYPD. I think a hold on the defense. If we can run that one back, fellas. I think this was a hold right from the beginning of this play on one of the receivers. Oh, offsides. There we go.
Wow.
So somebody lined up in the neutral zone there. That's why the flag came out so quick. This Ime's off.
Way off.
Yeah, way off.
Good
It's
call.
not even close. Okay, so officials sorting out something here real quick. ECAD, the Educated Canines Assisting with Disabilities. Our mission is to enable people with disabilities to gain greater independence and mobility by using specially educated dogs. Visit ecad1.org to learn more about our Service Dogs program. All right,
So
Chicago.
another costly penalty for New York City Police Department. It's 1st and goal, and Chicago on the doorstep, primed to take the lead back.
1st and goal from the 4-yard line. NYPD penalties have set them up. Handoff to Piscasio. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Bounced out. He's running all the way backfield. That's a 20-yard loss on the play, John.
And a flag on the
And
play.
a flag again. And I think it's on NYPD. Let's see. This is a massive penalty. Piscasio is met at the line of scrimmage. He doubles back all the way to his right. Oh, it's a holding call on Chicago PD. That one's going to be declined, I believe. And that is a 20-yard loss. Here it is again, John.
My gosh. And, it's kind of feast or famine. High risk, high reward, but not this time for Piscasio. As he tries to do his best Barry Sanders impersonation, going back across the field towards the near sideline. And he is brought down hard in an excellent pursuit from number 30, Ime, who makes up for that offsides earlier. And brings down Piscasio.
All right, so
that's going to back him up. Second down.
Really difficult mental mistake there by Chicago.
Huge
Goal
turn
from
of
the
events.
24-yard line. So they might manage some yardage here, but Tapling back to pass. He's looking downfield. Now he scrambles. He's out to his left. He sidearms it. He's got it complete to Yancey, who catches it, rolls towards the end zone, and he's in.
Beautiful second effort by Yancey. Gets him across the goal line. And Chicago takes back the lead.
What a play. Tapling had a lot of time to throw there. He sidearms it to Yancey, who got open here, John.
Look at the little subtle communication here between Tapling and Yancey. Yancey knows it's a broken play, has to do something to get open, and he does just that right towards the sideline at the 8-yard line. And threads the needle between a combination of New York defenders.
So they bring it back out to the 1-yard line. They take the touchdown off there's a timeout here. I don't know. All right, so let's sort this out, because the officials called a touchdown. Then they realize that Yancey has stepped out at the 1-yard line. That's an NYPD defensive timeout. We'll take a timeout, explain everything when we get back.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise. I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know. And we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
All right, sort it out real quick before a huge play here. Trent Yancey catches that ball, initially ruled a touchdown. They then spot it at the 1. It's 3rd and goal from the 1, and they push it across the line of scrimmage for the touchdown. That's number 34, John, Dave Moore.
So Moore makes that last play really as the exclamation point put on a one heck of a drive by the Enforcers. And number 34 runs it in for Chicago as they retake the lead on the touchdown from Dave Moore.
12-7, and I think they're going to be going for 2 here to try to make it 14-7. Again, NYPD not accustomed to not holding the lead, but for the second time this game, they find themselves trailing with just 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, Chicago's done the impossible here to the NYPD, putting up 2 touchdowns in the first half alone.
Most points they've allowed in this season, John.
Absolutely right.
First time they've allowed multiple touchdowns.
I also don't see as much swagger from this PD defense that we've been accustomed to.
All right, here's Tapling. He throws. That ball is batted away by Pinnock. Incomplete. So it will stay 12-7. We'll come back with more national championship action live on Fox Nation right after this.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
Okay, we are back live at Mitchell Field, Long Island, New York, the 2025 National Championship game of the National Public Safety Football League, nearing the end of the first half. That's a kickoff from Tapling, picked up by Kyle Johnson of NYPD, and they get the ball back at the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Finest. To set the tone, for those of you just joining us, it is 12-7 Chicago PD Enforcers. It's the first time all year that the NYPD has trailed, and it's the second time this game that they have trailed. They were down 6-0, and now 12-7. And it's going to be up to this NYPD Finest offense to put something together. You got me? Okay, there we go. Sorry, we lost my audio there for a second. So Quinlan hands off on 1st down.
1st down run stacked up in the middle.
Incomplete. Good for a couple of yards there. Actually met at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. And here's Quinlan trying to engineer something here for this NYPD offense. It's been a rough road here for this NYPD offense thus far this half. The only touchdown a result of a interception that was returned all the way to the 5-yard line. They punched it in on the next play, but no sustained drives. Here's Quinlan back to pass. He goes deep. He's got Johnson, Johnson incomplete. He had a half a step on the defense. That ball overthrown. Number 27 on the coverage for Chicago, Jalen Woods. But as John said, John is going to be down getting a halftime interview for us with the Chicago PD coaching staff. I'll be interviewing Jeff Price, the president of the NPSFL, and also the head coach of the Dallas Defenders. Just missed out on this national championship opportunity. A good season for them, but Chicago and NYP, the team's battling it out today. So he's got, all right, we have a timeout. That is the Chicago PD enforcers call a timeout, which means we take a timeout. We'll be back with more action right after this.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief, or renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
Third down for NYPD here. Man in motion here, and it's Quinlan. A little touch pass there, tried to get Johnson and overthrown again. Fourth down, so a quick 3 and out for NYPD.
Minus look downfield.
And they will be in a punting situation. Zabransky out here to handle the punting duties. Chicago's going to get another opportunity to extend their lead here in the first half. You know, On Your Six Bourbon Whiskey is inspired by everyday heroes like nurses, police officers, teachers, and firefighters who make this country so loved and respected. We keep the military tradition of grabbing a drink to celebrate someone who's got your six. Visit onyoursix.com today to purchase your first bottle. Here's Zabransky in punting formation. Lone receiver back. Zabransky gets off a good kick this time. Ruffin is going to chase it down, and a big bounce. Ruffin does field it at the 6-yard line, and he's dropped immediately as squeezes out to the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. You know, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, since 9/11, has been helping America's heroes by providing mortgage-free homes to Gold Star and fallen first responder families. We're also committed to eradicating veteran homelessness and helping America to never forget September 11, 2001. Visit t2t.org for more information or to make your donation today. And before Chicago's offense gets back on the field, we'll talk about the Gary Sinise Foundation. At the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation by honoring our defenders, veterans, first responders, their families, and those in need. We create and support unique programs designed to entertain, educate, inspire, strengthen, and build communities. Visit GarySinisFoundation.org to learn more and how you can contribute to our mission. So again, we are sponsored. These games are played by first responders for the love of the game. A lot of our sponsors, as you can see, are charitable foundations supporting these first responders and their families. We got a free play here. NYPD better defend it, and they do at the end of it. That was clearly Mo Evans, number 45 for NYPD, jumping off sides. Very eager to try to get a push on Tapling, but that is their third offsides penalty in this quarter. So they better get it together or they're going to move Chicago down the field. That'll be 5 yards, and it'll make it 1st and 5 from the 15-yard line. Just over 2 minutes to go. We'll be butting up against the 2-minute warning after this play, most likely. And Tapling in shotgun formation. No Pascasio on the field here. 3 wide to his right and 2 to his left. Empty right here. And Ime brings the blitz. He misses Tapling, who throws downfield and has Yancey complete. A big play there by Tapling. NYPD sending the extra man on the rush, and they don't get to Tapling, who deftly moves outside the pocket and hits Yancey for a huge gain. That one good for 19 yards and a first down It'll be 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Tappling again, going with an empty set, 5 wide, and we are at the 2-minute warning. So now we will take a quick break and come back to finish the end of the first half.
We're talking about the people who have put their lives on the line for this great country, the people who have lost and paid the greatest price for our freedom, for guys like me to be able to go sing songs about whatever I want to sing about every single night. And we're talking about an organization that helps support families and support the people that are running into the danger that the rest of us are running away from. And that's the kind of people I want to be beside. Those are the real heroes, man. I'm just a big fat guy with a guitar. Hey, y'all, this is Jelly Roll, and I am asking you to give $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to honoring the dignity of the American service member and is committed to helping end homelessness amongst the veteran community and ensure no veteran is left behind. Providing a safe and dignified home is an imperative part of helping veterans who are homeless reclaim their lives. Donate $11 a month by calling 1-844-BRAVEST or visit t2t.org.
Okay, just out of the 2-minute warning here. It's Chicago with a first down on their own 33-yard line after a big pickup to pick up this first down. Tappling going empty set this whole drive, 5 wide, and he's back to pass. He's got Yancey down the sidelines, defended, jump ball. Who's got it? It's going to be incomplete. Out of bounds. Both guys had a bid for it, but falls incomplete as they both land out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd and 10. And Taking Vegas, if you're serious about winning some money, stop what you're doing and head to takingvegas.com. Their free play record this year is 22-12. And right now, they're offering 7 free days of their top play service for our NPSFL network audience. Winning is great, but Taking Vegas is legendary. Visit takingvegas.com to start winning today. A Chicago PD Enforcers victory today would be legendary, as they have never won the national championship. NYPD with 13 of them since 1998. Chicago trying to get there first. And they hold a lead right now. The first time NYPD has trailed all year. And they're going to have to do something big to not be trailing at halftime. Here's Tappling. Now they bring Pascasio in to help with a block here, which he does do. Tappling and rolling to his right, and he's got number 82 complete on the play. That's number 82, the wide receiver Wade Overton. First time we've called his name today, and he picks up a first down. So that one good for 12. Clock running, though. Chicago's going to want to keep it moving here as there's under 90 seconds to go from their own 45-yard line. Again, he's got Pascasio in to throw a block, and Tappling gets it out wide. Pass defended by number 16. That's Earl Lucas. A big play by Lucas to knock it away. 12-7 here with 1:22 to go in the first half. Again, my color commentator, John Heffernan, going to be talking with the Chicago coaching staff right at the end of the first half. I'll be talking with Jeff Price, NPSFL president, Dallas Defenders head coach, talk about him, his involvement in the league, and the league overall. Be a fun interview, and Jeff looking resplendent in his cowboy hat. I mean, how do you not have a cowboy hat, right? If you're living in Allen, Texas, like Jeff is. So here we are, back to action. 2nd down and 10. Tappling back to pass. He pump fakes, and he's going to tuck and run. And he makes a defender miss. He's across the 40-yard line of NYPD for the first down. Wow, that's a great athletic play by Tappling. He is proving to be the star of this game. Let's see, you can see it again here as Tappling takes this pass. He looks to his right and then tucks and runs, a little delayed QB draw, and he had number 10, I believe, that's Manny Tejada, on skates, and he goes for about 15 yards on the play, all the way down, 14 yards on the play, down to the 36-yard line. He gets out of bounds on that play. It stops the clock with 1 minute and 14 seconds. 1st and 10 NYPD finest really need to stop here. They have not been doing much on offense. They've made plays on defense, but they're going to need another one right here. And Tapling is back to pass. Oh, and he is, that ball's picked off. Tapling unwisely unloads that pass. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage and just underhand tosses it to get rid of it, and it's picked off by Ime, number 30. Let's watch this one again. You see he's under pressure here by number 98 for the NYPD defense. That's Vincent Perricone with a big play. And then Ime sees that Tapling unloads it and catches it with one hand. What a play. Let's get one more read in here before NYPD snaps it. I will wait until after first down here, fellas. Sorry about that. Mechanics of a broadcast. I probably shouldn't talk about it on air, but that's what you got today. It's Mike Blewett with John Heffernan on the call. Here is Quinlan rolling out after a broken play, and he gets across the 40-yard line up to the 43. NYPD is going to have to hustle here. We're under a minute to go. They need to score here. A little bit of trash talk here on both sides. What is NYPD waiting for? We're under 40 seconds. We're down to 35 seconds. Quinlan finally snaps it. He gets rid of it. He unloads it, and it's incomplete to Kyle Johnson. They wasted a ton of time there. It'll be 3rd down and 3. They're going to need something here, or it's punting time, and we're towards the end of the first half. Real American Beer. America's at its best when united, and if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's the simple pleasure of sharing a beer. That's why we started Real American Beer, to bring people together one beer at a time. Visit therealamerican.com today to find out where Real American beer is sold near you. I could use a Real American beer after this game. It's pretty hot here in the New York and Long Island today. Home game for me. I live not too far from this field. Cooling down a little bit now as the sun is starting to set. Let's see if this NYPD offense can heat up, and they are not on the same page there. Quinlan looking to pass to number 22, Nico Ramirez. He's not even looking, and it falls incomplete. It's going to be 4th down and 3. With 26 seconds left, I think you wave the white flag on the rest of this half if you're on NYPD and give it back to Chicago. As long as Zabransky gets off a good one, it's kneel it out time, and you go to the second half and figure out what you can do better. Again, I've watched this NYPD in all of their games this year. This is the most frustrated, I believe, their offense has been, and the most out of sync their defense has been at times. Again, 12 points, not terrible, but they looked out of sync on a few plays, a few penalties. So here we are, Zabransky back to punt, heels on his own 30-yard line. That ball gets past him, squeezes in between his legs, and disaster strikes for NYPD. The punt squeezes between his legs, and all he could do is go back and jump on it. A bad snap. He tries to reach down for it, and it gets right between the wickets, and he falls on the 20-yard line. So NYPD is going to need to step up in a huge way here. I don't love that spot. I thought it was right about the 23-yard line. They give him a couple of extras there, though, and it'll be down at the 20-yard line. That could not have gone any worse. 3 plays out of sync on offense, and then a punt that the snap barely gets to the punter, squeezes between his legs, and effectively a 15, 20-yard, 23-yard loss on the play. And now here's Chicago. Conservative setup here, bunch to the left. He's got Piscasio with him. But let's see if they try to get to the end zone. He's got Yancey off his hands at the 11. Intended for Yancey. In coverage is number 3, Kendall Clark. And we're down to 15 seconds left. They've got time. I believe they have a timeout as well. So they could try whatever they want here, and they'll have an opportunity to kick a field goal if it doesn't go well. So again, 12-7. 15 seconds left. First time NYPD's trailed all year. Chicago, to their credit, also 4-0. In their games, they beat Charlotte 34-21, the NYCD boldest, that's the Department of Corrections, 28-25. They beat FDNY 19-3 and San Diego 27-13. So that's how they got to 4-0. We'll see if they can get to 5-0 and win the championship. Here's Tappling back to pass. He squeezes out of coverage, throws back across the field, wide open. Trent Yancey in the end zone with a touchdown.
Touchdown, Chicago.
Just absolutely blown coverage by NYPD, and Chicago now has an 11-point lead on the day. They're going to try to make it 13 right now. Let's watch it again. Tabling's just had so much time to throw, and his athleticism buying him even more. You see, nobody is open at the moment, and then Yancey gets right behind the coverage. Ime not even realizing that Yancey is standing behind him for an easy touchdown. Tappling right on the money. A perfect throw, an off-balance throw, but it gives them a huge lead here. NYPD received the opening kickoff, so it's going to be Chicago getting the kickoff.
Give to number 34, David Moore. And
Dave Moore. And that's good for Dave Moore. He runs it in. That's a 2-point conversion for Dave Moore. We'll take another look at it. Just like the last time they had a short goal, a goal line situation, they gave it to Dave Moore, who walked in. And there you go, Moore with the 2-point conversion. That makes it 20-7, a 2-score lead for Chicago. Just 7 seconds left in the half. And it'll be Chicago kicking off to NYPD. I think he'll try to boot this one into the end zone. They don't want disaster to strike like the way it did for NYPD there on the punt snap. Tapling's second touchdown pass of the day. First one to Ruffin, that one to Yancey. And here's Tappling with the kickoff. Kyle Johnson takes it at his own 20. He squeezes out to the outside. He's bottled up right at his own 35, and that'll be the end of the half. We're going to look for John to get connected for a halftime interview. And that's going to be it for the first half. 20-7, Chicago PD enforcers with a huge lead and an unbelievable way to close the half. We're going to send it down to John Heffernan in just a moment for the interview.
Everybody here with third-year head coach for the Chicago PD Enforcers, Brian Fennelly, 20-7 at the half. Yeah, I said that right. If there's one guy who never, ever wavered for a minute as far as what your group is capable of, it's this guy right here, Brian Fennelly. You said this is one of the closest groups you've ever been around, and why so?
Yeah. You know, we've been talking since day one. This game is about, it's about sportsmanship. It's about caring about one another. And that's what we bring to the table. We have fantastic athletes. So many guys on this team, massive football IQs. We know what we do. We got to love each other, and that's what we do. We're
Well,
family out there.
you did something that no one has done here in 2025. You put up not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns in this first half. Dave Moore, Brandon Ruffin, and that last one by Yancey. You told me before the game, battle at the line of scrimmage is going to win this football game. Your O-line has done one heck of a job here today.
Yeah, they're a tight-knit group. You know, I am blessed with the best coordinators in the league. Our offense coordinator, fantastic, Rich Lane. He's amazing. Aaron Chappelle, fantastic. What a game he's calling.
Amazing.
What a game he's calling. You know, man, I tell you what, if we can clean up our turnovers, that's what I want to see coming in the second half. Just clean up the turnovers, and we're going to keep our foot on the accelerator.
Tell me a little bit about what this mystique, the best defense in the league with NYPD, you traveling out of state, you really just tested them, pushed them to the limit. Are you surprised at all by this outcome here after 2 quarters of play?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because I'm watching our team play to the level that I know they can play at, and that's the only thing I'm concerned about.
adjustments in the second half, anything that you're going to look at here at halftime?
I mean, right now it's really just not giving away the ball foolishly, and that's the main thing. But we're staying calm. You know, we're picking each other up when we're down, and that's what we're doing. We'll talk a little bit with the coordinators on any other adjustments, but really we just want to hold the.
One last one. Tell us what it's like working as a deputy chief in Morgan Grove, and anything you want to say to the boys back in Illinois.
I love you guys, MGPD.
Brian Fennelly, third-year head coach, a former player, a total of 5 years on the Chicago PD Enforcers team. Hey, man, wake up, Chicago. It's been all Enforcers here in the first half. Second half action coming up, and I want to say one more thing. Samson Ty, number 15, flew in from Duluth, Minnesota after a game yesterday with the Harbor Monsters. He asked me to get it in there, Coach. It shows the level of commitment from all of your guys. Folks, a big halftime planned here on Fox Nation. We're going to throw it back up to Mike Blute, who's got a special guest interview at halftime. But it's been all Enforcers, 20-7 at the half. Once again, my thanks to Brian Fennelly, their third-year head coach. Brian, go in and talk to your guys. Good luck in the second half. John Heffern and Mike Blute, take it away.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. That's Brian Fennelly, head coach of Chicago PD Enforcers. Got to feel great about his 20-7 halftime lead. And I'm here with Jeff Price. He's the president of the NPSFL and the head coach of the Dallas Defenders. So, but we'll get to this game in a moment. I got to get some background on you and your involvement in this league. So, not only are you the coach and the league president, but you played in this league.
I did. Started in 1999 in this league as a player, and just love it. Love what it's about, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
How about a little bit about your service for your community?
Well, I did 32 years with the Dallas Police Department, retired. I'm currently an assistant chief with the Collin County Sheriff's Office in Collin County, Texas, North Texas, and been the coach of the Dallas Defenders since 2008 and became president of the league in 2016.
What do you think it takes for – I mean, you obviously live this in a variety of different angles. I'm always amazed that so many of these players – are laying it on the line for their communities every day, and then they lay it on the line here for the love of the game all spring long.
You know, absolutely. That's what makes it special. These guys go out every day to protect our communities, and this gives the opportunity for people to see them in a different light. Yeah. I mean, they're out here giving their bodies literally to raise money for charities, and that's the bottom line. What this league is about is raising money for our charities.
Yeah, first responders playing here for the love of the game, and like I said earlier in the broadcast, these sponsors that we have are charitable foundations, and if you'd love to donate to one of those charities, we'd appreciate it. It helps support this entire community and this league. So Jeff's here obviously to talk about his involvement with the league. You've been the head coach of the Defenders since 2008. Obviously a good season. Came up a little bit short on this game, but how has it been for you as the head coach of these last couple of seasons?
It's been good. We've been into championship games twice out of the last 4 years, both Division II games, and we're excited to get back. And the guys are always competitive, and it's a lot of fun, and doing our part in our community as well.
Yeah. So how about this game? We saw some live action here. NYPD had a completely dominant season up until this point, shutting out a couple of opponents. This is the most points they've allowed this season. What did you see during that first half that maybe gave Chicago this edge at 20-7?
Well, I tell you, I mean, my Dallas team played this New York team, and they beat us down there in Dallas, and they're a machine. I mean, really, typically they are. Today, Chicago, their defensive line, I'm going to hand it to them that they are right now controlling the line of scrimmage, and that's impressive.
Yeah, I would say, and we talked about this before the interview. The number one unit I watched all year in this league was that NYPD offensive line, allowing Felder and Woodley to break off huge runs consistently. That has not happened as of yet. Chicago really controlling the line of scrimmage. Obviously, Tapling as an athlete has been incredible. 2 touchdown passes. He had the unfortunate mishaps on the interceptions, but he's made more plays than he's given up. So that's why they find themselves with this lead. So a little bit more back to your involvement with the league. So you were QB in 1999. We haven't even gotten to that part yet. So you were able to play for a number of years before you took over as head coach. I guess your experience playing in the league really led you to wanting to be close to this community long term.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, coming up the way I did as a player, and then player coach, and then I got into the league board as a vice president, and then being elected president. It's an honor. It's an honor to work with these guys and men and women across the nation that work with these teams, giving their time. And what makes the National Public Safety Football League unique is that there are no paid anyone. There are no paid participants. Everyone, from me, from the board, for the teams, everyone are totally volunteer. So all of the money raised goes towards putting on the football that you're seeing here, or to our charities in our hometowns or national. We support Tunnel for Towers for our national charity, and we're great to work with them. And so that's what makes us, I think, unique in our charity endeavors.
Now, we appreciate the fact that Fox Nation is airing these broadcasts as well. I think it sheds a really positive light, as you said, on the league, on the players, and the sacrifices that they're making every day and on this football field. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be able to broadcast it not too far from my home. I'm happy to travel to do it. You want me to do a game in Dallas? I'll see you down there. But
absolutely.
Obviously, it's great for you to be able to spend time with us here today. You'll have an opportunity to present the National Championship Trophy and the MVP Trophy later today. How does that voting process work?
Well, the MVP is each team will vote on who they believe should be the most valuable player. If there's a tie or it cannot be decided, then it comes down to me to make the deciding vote. We've never had it, knock on wood, it's always been decided between the two teams at the end of the game. So, and then we'll announce that after I present the championship trophy to the winner.
NYPD's got their work cut out for them in the second half. 20-7, they are down to Chicago PD enforcers, who will receive the second half kickoff. So a lot of road to hoe for NYPD. This is Jeff Price. He's the NPSFL president, head coach of the Dallas Defenders, and we appreciate your time. We'll see you again at the end of the game.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care. We'll be back with more NPSFL action, second half action after this.
Is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm actor Eric Winter. Now, playing a cop on TV and tracking bad guys is fun in games, but now I understand the challenges facing real first responders. That's why I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. For more than 2 decades, Tunnel to Towers has been supporting America's greatest heroes. The foundation is continuing to pay off mortgages for fallen first responders and Gold Star families with young children. They're also building mortgage-free smart homes for catastrophically injured veterans. Now T2T is committing itself to eradicating veteran homelessness. Please donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST. Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Let us do good.
Ground Zero is the burial place for my brother, yet I think that not everybody can go to New York and to Ground Zero and visit the memorial there, so we felt it was vitally important once again that we carry the message that we never forget. And one way that you never forget is that if you learn what happened that day, and a lot of young kids don't even know. They hear about September 11th, a lot of them were maybe 10 years old, now they're 22 years old, a lot of them weren't even born. And I think that one of the most important things as parents, if parents are listening, and the children, is that that you bring them here and you tell them the story. Tell them where you were on September 11, 2001, and what an impact it had in your life. It changed the world. That day has changed the world. It's not the same world it was on September 10, 2001, and I think that you have to tell why and what happened that day. Not just because Stephen died, because so many have died that day. And that, and so much of our military has sacrificed so much for us before that, but most certainly ever since. I think this statement really sums up our military and our great first responders. For those I love, I will sacrifice. And this is Kyle Hockenberry, and his house is under construction right now. And this program here, which is Building for America's Bravest, which is what we spend most of our energy on right now. That and our Never Forget Mobile exhibit here, is that we have to raise a lot of money because our men and women have paid a big price for protecting us here back here in the States, and so many of them coming back, triple, quadruple amputees. So many are paralyzed, and we're proud to say that we are committed to making sure that every one of them get a house. And it's been a journey the last 12 years. We've met some of the best Americans around the country. It's most certainly, once again, our men and women who serve, but besides that, just everyday Americans who have come together to help our cause, to make sure we never forget and we honor the sacrifice.
This is a very interesting piece, and to me it's the most poignant piece in the exhibit. Welded in New York for the 10th anniversary, was presented to 3 Truck, and 3 Truck their leader that day was Captain Patrick Brown, who in his 24 years of service in the FDNY had received 21 medals for heroism. They had gotten above the 40th floor at that point, he and his men, and they heard and saw what was going on, and they were describing over the radio the injuries that were coming down so that the command post and lobby be ready for it. And the very last transmission that they were able to put out was, "This is 3 Truck, and we're still heading up." And then the building fell on them. So that was their last transmission. That's what I love. They cut out crucifixes, one for each family, one for each fire department member who died that day, to give to their family members on the 10th anniversary. So each family member of a fireman from 3 Truck has this piece of steel as a memento.
I think it's pretty amazing, especially for young kids that weren't there, to see the way our country was able to rally together in a situation like this. It's pretty incredible to bring it home.
It puts shivers up my back, and it's a great remembrance of what we should never let happen again to our great country.
I would encourage anybody who has an opportunity to come down and visit this. It's really something that will bring back a lot of memories if you were involved on that day. And it's good for Americans to see all the things that we've gone through, and we're still here today.
Oh, I think I would encourage people to, tour the museum. It's not a long walk through, but it brings back the memories, and it makes you feel like you're an American. And I think people should just go to reflect, and again, how lucky we are to live in this country.
Well, I think just taking 15, 20 minutes before the start of the game right here, where you got 70, 80,000 fans, means a lot. I think it puts the whole day in a proper perspective by kind of going through this first and understanding that the freedoms we have to watch football games are largely built on the shoulders of the gentlemen and soldiers that have paid the sacrifice in combat and in New York City.
At the time, he was only 2 when it happened, so he has no idea about what has happened. And it just brings a lot of memories back that day. It's where you were at when it happened. This is a good thing.
I'm glad to see this exhibit. There can't be enough of this. We need to see more of it and remind people what happened and why we are a nation of free people.
New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute is a medical center for firefighters, designed by firefighters. As a leading provider of advanced medical screenings, we take pride in offering the best healthcare experience for firefighters and first responders. Since 2002, the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute has been dedicated to screening, diagnosing, and treating first responders and their families each and every day. We provide a broad range of testing and medical care, including cardiac and pulmonary testing, as well as educational seminars focused on firefighter safety throughout the USA and Canada. We are proud to have recently entered into a partnership with the Uniformed Firefighters Association to encourage all firefighters to come in and get tested. New York State awarded a grant to the UFA for testing and cancer screening, and they have partnered with the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute to provide certain services at no cost to the individual. check out fdnyheart.com or call 516-441-7614 to schedule an individual or group firehouse visit today.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief. I renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
Tom Olkers served others.
He was an incredible husband, father, NYPD officer, and FDNY firefighter.
At age 26, Tom worked at Ground Zero in the rescue and recovery efforts following the attacks of 9/11.
Throughout his courageous battle against World Trade Center cancer, Tom deeply appreciated the care provided for him and his family, including the FDNY's Family Assistance Unit.
One of the TO Foundation's first initiatives is to purchase a family assistance van to help ease the burden for other firefighters and their families when facing an illness.
Together, we will honor Tom by helping first responders and their families in their hour of need. Please visit tofamilyfoundation.org today.
For over 2 decades, Rigging NYC Contractors, Inc. has been the go-to provider of rigging services in New York City. Specializing in construction and industrial rigging, as well as machinery moving, we are dedicated to delivering safe and timely solutions. Our team consists of licensed master riggers, operating engineers, Teamster drivers, steam fitters, and iron workers. No matter the industrial or construction application, we have the lifting solution for you. In addition to rigging services, we offer specialized trucking services to handle equipment and materials. Our fleet of tractor trailers and experienced drivers make us the premier choice for New York trucking, including oversized freight and heavy loads. When it comes to rigging, trust the experts, the licensed master riggers at Rigging NYC Contractors. Contact us today for more information and let us make your next project a resounding success.
If you've been injured on the job, first notify your employer, seek immediate medical attention, and then call me at 516-280-4033. We act aggressively to litigate your matters to conclusion, and we keep you fully informed throughout the litigation process. I'm here to fight for you.
What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise, and I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know, and we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
We're here today right outside Colorado Springs to welcome home DT and his family here in the beautiful smart home that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has just completed.
I got hurt December 2005 in Afghanistan, and that day we're out on a mission and I got hit by an IED while I was in my truck. Today we're in my home that Tunnel to Towers built for me. A smart home is someone that's disabled like myself kind of makes their lives a little easier. The thought that I don't have to worry about paying a mortgage.
We're asking all Americans to donate $11 a month. This is where your money's going, and this is what we're doing with it.
You know, some of us came back, some of us didn't. And thank God for organizations like Tunnel Towers. They're able to be there to help us when we need it.
Tom Olkers served others.
He was an incredible husband, father, NYPD officer, and FDNY firefighter.
At age 26, Tom worked at Ground Zero in the rescue and recovery efforts following the attacks of 9/11.
Throughout his courageous battle against World Trade Center cancer, Tom deeply appreciated the care provided for him and his family, including the FDNY's Family Assistance Unit.
One of the TO Foundation's first initiatives is to purchase a family assistance van to help ease the burden for other firefighters and their families when facing an illness.
Together, we will honor Tom by helping first responders and their families in their hour of need. Please visit tofamilyfoundation.org today.
If you've been injured on the job, first notify your employer, seek immediate medical attention, and then call me at 516-280-4033. We act aggressively to litigate your matters to conclusion, and we keep you fully informed throughout the litigation process. I'm here to fight for you.
All right, here we go. A halftime score, Chicago Enforcers 20, NYPD Finest 7. Certainly a long way to go for NYPD to come back, and surprising perhaps to some that have followed this league throughout this season. It's going to start with NYPD kicking off in the second half to Chicago. Brandon Ruffin back to receive it. Here's Zabransky with the kick. Short one, fielded at the 10-yard line across the 20. To the 25 and met with a huge hit. Maybe that'll spark something here for NYPD. A massive hit. Brandon Brooks was returning.
And it was number 19 for the New York City Police Department, who absolutely lays the boom here. Let's take a look at it one more time. Boom!
Wow, Devin Speed on that one. That's a huge hit. Let's see if they can get some energy out of that one, John. They're going to need it.
You know, running back as well, special teams player. And if I'm a fly in the wall in that New York City Police Department locker room at halftime, I know for a fact Billy Sullivan was ripping these guys apart. The defensive front for the Chicago Police Department has been incredible. And the NYPD defense is really going to need to step it up, Mike, here in the third quarter and make their presence felt.
Here's Tapling back to pass. He's going to find somebody over the middle. Incomplete, knocked away by number 32. That's Mustafa Young on the coverage.
Great coverage by Mustafa Young. And, Mike, if we unpack a little bit of the end of that second quarter, unsettled play, a bad punt attempt, turns into a touchdown, the third of the half for Chicago, and it's been a lot of swagger we've seen from the guys from the Windy City. After that Tapling touchdown pass to Yancey, he ran by me on the sideline and said, "Hey, John, how'd you like that?" Those guys are fired up. 3 touchdowns in that first half, and they're putting a drive together here again. It is so important here for the police department to step up defensively if they want a shot at getting back into this one.
All right, so on second down, Piscasio gets the handoff. He's met at the line of scrimmage and dropped right there. It'll be 3rd and 10. NYPD coming out fired up. You can hear them yelling pass, yelling run. They are into it clearly as a unit. They are fired up, trying to get a big stop here to start the second half. I see O'Connell warming up on the sidelines down there. Any word, John, of a change coming?
Well, listen, it's no secret that Davian Quinlan is not 100%, and you could just tell he doesn't have the same giddy-up. Definitely banged up, but, you know, Rashawn Williams, just going back to that last play, Mike, the defensive lineman for the New York City Police Department, really great penetration and a couple of big plays in a row that are so important for the police department, for their mentality, the morale, and it's a big down here for Chicago.
3rd and 10 here from their own 26-yard line. Empty set again, 5 wide. They had a lot of success at the end of the first half. Here's Tapling back to pass. Mo Evans right in his face, and then Tejada running him down. Tapling does squirt free, and he's got a completed
pass. Yes, he found number 82, Mike, for the reception.
Incomplete.
It's incomplete. I thought he held on.
So big stop there for NYPD. They got pressure here. You saw Mo Evans and Tejada as well, John.
Mo Evans jumps skyward, which forces Tapling to run to his left. And the right-handed quarterback with a bit of a duck and unable to hang on, number 82 at first look. Wade Overton out of the Bellwood Fire Department thought he might have corralled it, but it's going to be punt time for Chicago.
All right, you see number 10 out to punt. That's Chris Lenti, and he gets off it. He gets one off across midfield, but where did that bounce? I think he shanked it a little bit there, John. Yes, he does not even get it out of his own territory. It gets up to the 47-yard line, and we're going to see NYPD come out on 1st and 10. Big stop there to start the half, and they have good field position already in Chicago territory. John, a touchdown drive right here. We got a brand new ball game.
Absolutely, and if I'm Clive Harding, the second-year head coach for the New York City Police Department, 2 Fun City Bowl championships and a national championship to his credit. He has coached 32 years of football, including boys and girls in Brooklyn, and he definitely has to be happy with the start here in the second half.
And there's Quinlan looking downfield. That ball is caught. Wow. McGrain with the catch. Takes it off the turf and picks up a big first down for NYPD to keep the momentum rolling.
And Mike, if I'm not mistaken, this might be Chris McGrain's first reception of the game.
It is.
He's been awfully quiet here today. The Swiss Army knife on this PD team, special teams, and a go-to receiver. So important to get McGrain going.
And they get the handoff to Felder here on 1st down. He squeezes free across the 20. He's got a block. He's across the 10, the 5, touchdown. Justin Felder, NYPD bounces right back.
My goodness. And look how fired up the sideline is for the New York City Police Department as Justin Felder, the leading rusher and national champion in the country just last year at the University of New Haven, gets the police department right back into it.
A huge run. This is the type of explosive plays we've seen out of Felder all season long.
And a bit of a hesitation off the right tackle, and nearly coming up with the tackle for Chicago was number 48, Rick Richardson, and Felder just willed his way into the end zone, Mike, and the extra point is good.
Zabransky has the extra point there. That makes it 20-14. We'll hit a quick break right now and come back with more National Championship action.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
Back to a re-energized national championship game live here on Fox Nation. 20-14, Chicago PD enforcers hold the lead, but we are on the heels of a huge touchdown run by Justin Felder to make it a one-score game. Here's the kick from Zabransky. That's picked up by number 1, Brooks, and he's across the 30-yard line to the 31. Good run back there. Gets about 20 on that run back, but let's give it one more rewind on the Justin Felder touchdown run. Just a tremendous play by Felder, John.
And the draw goes to Felder. Off the right tackle, Richardson almost comes up with the tackle, but that power from the lower body. Felder finding his way through traffic.
Richardson, Egan, and Michael and Carlin Ento all had cracks at Felder and couldn't bring him down. He's really slippery back. He's just a tremendous talent in this league. And that explosive play really changed the complexion of this game. But Chicago PD, with a lead, still has the ball here with an opportunity to do something. And Tapling's been awesome today. Piscasio gets the handoff on first down. He's met right near the line of scrimmage. Good for a gain of 1. We'll see what Tapling dials up here on second down. You obviously had the opportunity, John, to talk to Brian Fennelly, the head coach, during halftime. He obviously was feeling good about his team coming out of the first half.
Well, how could you not? And Chicago doing the unthinkable in that first half, scoring 3 touchdowns. PD had only given up 1 all season, but this is an upstart New York City Police Department team. You can almost feel it, Mike. They seemed a little lackluster overall in that first half.
Another handoff to Piscasio. He squeezes. He's met again right near the line of scrimmage. Good for a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 8. So they go back to back with the handoffs, getting very little out of it.
And Ime, the linebacker, who has been terrific here today, in on the tackle right there. And a great job and penetration by Ife Ime. Or Ima, I should say. The linebacker for the police department. I'm telling you, the start to this second half has gotten Joe Loughran up out of his chair. The original founder of this New York City Police Department team, watching at home, 83 years young in New Jersey. Joe, we send our love out to you. We need some good luck from the classy, brilliant football mind, Joe Loughran.
Here's Tapling. He goes downfield, intended for Yancey. Picked off by Earl Lucas. First down, NYPD. They'll take over at the Chicago 44-yard line. Tapling having a good game, but his 3rd pick of the day, John.
A huge pick. And as you said, Mike, Tapling had so much confidence at the end of that second quarter, and he looks like a different player here. Got plenty of time. Earl Lucas just steps right in front of it.
He forced that one to Yancey, and Lucas, I think Lucas might have baited him into that throw.
You know, you're absolutely right, Mike. He held back just a little bit, and it wasn't the crispest pass either.
All right, so here's our first time, I think, today, John, seeing this classic NYPD finest look where the 2-back set, you've got Quinlan with Woodley and Felder in the backfield. We'll see where they go, and they do give to Felder. He's off the right tackle. Woodley throwing a monster block, and Felder gets across the 30. Felder to the 25, to the 21-yard line, right out of bounds. Woodley throwing an absolutely monster block on the lead.
Just the way it's drawn up, Woodley does exactly what he's supposed to do. And Mike, you said it's the first time we've seen the 2-back set. Woodley with the lead block, Felder does the rest, and another huge gain for Justin Felder.
That one's going to go for 26 yards on the carry for Felder. And it's 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Excuse me, that's 29 yards on the carry.
Mike, if it was a wild finish to the half, what a wild start to the third.
Unbelievable. So here we go. A handoff to Felder again. Stutter step met right after the line of scrimmage. Good for a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 13-yard line.
And once again, it's the veteran captain, Rick Richardson, number 48, out of the Wheeling Police Department with the tackle. He has been a workhorse today on that defensive line for Chicago.
John, we're just 5 minutes into this second half, and it's an entirely new ball game.
And PD knocking on the door once again. Mike, what possibly could have been said in that dressing room at halftime?
Whatever it was, it's working so far. So Quinlan in the shotgun formation. He's got a pitch to Felder, and now Felder run over at the 20-yard line. That's a loss of 7. Who's that on the tackle?
Vic Cieslask. He's the one that replaced the nose tackle out of the Des Plaines PD. And no one fooled this time. Cieslak finishes.
And John Simmons in on that tackle as well. So Cieslask and Simmons combined to drop Felder for a big loss there. So it's going to be 3rd and down from the 19-yard line, 3rd and 14. So we'll see what Quinlan's got up his sleeve here.
Obviously a pass play situation. We got trips to the left.
And he's downfield. Oh.
Losing his footing there, Mike.
Brian Dice slips on the play. And that's going to be incomplete. That was nearly picked off, John, too.
It was. Dice, an unfortunate set of circumstances there. The intended target for Quinlan. And you see there, his feet come out from under him.
It's thrown behind him, but
it was behind him, sure.
Jalen Woods, number 27, again in the mix on that play. We got a 4th down situation here.
They're going for it.
They are going for it on 4th and 14. I'm a little confused here because I thought Zabransky's got the leg for a field goal here. There's plenty of time left in this game, but they're being very aggressive here. They're going on 4th and 14, and Quinlan is wrapped up and sacked at the 25-yard line. I didn't like the call, John. I think you just take the 3.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand it. All right, we're going to switch sides here. Chicago PD offense will come out, but we'll hit a break before we come back with more at Championship Action.
Great job by Simmons.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country.
Save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
Back at Mitchell Field here in Uniondale, Long Island, right next to Hofstra University, right near the Nassau Coliseum here in Nassau County. Very exciting game thus far. A dominant first half by Chicago put them into a 20-7 lead. And then NYPD comes right out, has a big defensive play, and then a touchdown run by Justin Felder makes it 20-14. They opted against the field goal on that last drive, John. You and I both
head scratcher, Mike.
Yeah. Could be 20-17, but they went for it aggressively on 4th and 14. Here it is, Tapling under pressure on first down, and he's got number 80. That's Kudziak, I believe, on the play. Kudziak on the play, and he's hit hard on that
Matthew
play.
Weiss absolutely destroyed Tapling. What toughness from Adam Tapling. He hears the footsteps.
He knew it was
Matt
coming,
Weiss in pursuit, and bang! And Tapling manages to get the pass into his go-to guy. That's number 80 for the PD. Kudzia with the catch.
John, you wanted to talk about some Hall of Famers today, right? I think we have a Hall of Fame class being inducted this year. I know you wanted to highlight a couple.
You know, it was just nice to see Billy Sullivan. And Mike, I appreciate you pointing that out. Billy Sullivan, the longtime player and coach for the New York City Police Department. I also want to give some love to Jim Ade, the head coach of the Chicago Enforcers from 99 to 2009. Stephen McAllister from the NYPD, linebacker president from 84 to 2009. Ed Gardner, NYPD wide receiver 1990 to 2009. Billy Sullivan, as we mentioned, NYPD Gary McCarthy. He played from 87 to 2007. So congratulations to all those guys. Bob Schlechter, wide receiver for the Chicago Enforcers.
Congrats to that Hall of Fame class. Here's Pascasio on first down. Explodes through the NYPD defense. Good for a 20-yard run and a first down. So the big play by Tapling to Kudzia picks up a first down, and then right back to Pascasio, and he's good for 20 yards and a first down, John.
Man, this is turning into playground football. Just want to finish out the Hall of Fame class. John Curry from Chicago PD, Tim Kaczynski from Chicago PD, and, of course, Jeff Price, the commissioner of the National Public Safety Football League.
Had an opportunity to talk to President Price of the NPSFL at halftime. Hope he had an opportunity to take that in. He's over 3 decades of service for his community within Dallas and Collin County in Texas.
And it's so great to see Jeff here representing the league. In my opinion, Mike, the best pro football league in America when you count all the intricacies that get these guys on the field. These guys are heroes every day. They put their lives on the line. Let me give you a quick example. I'm not going to say who from NYPD, but last night in a high crime area in one of the 5 boroughs of New York City, he's an integral member of this New York City Police Department team. He worked till 4:30 this morning. He got off this high crime situation, took his son to lacrosse, got an hour's sleep, and got over here to Mitchell Field. Wow. These guys are different.
Incredible. All right, here's Tapling back to pass. He's going to the end zone. He's looking for Ruffin, who off his hands. He had him. Tough catch would have been for Ruffin, but does not come down with it. In the coverage was number 32, Mustafa Young.
Mustafa Young was there along with number 19, Devon Speed. But listen, Mike, I don't want miracles performed here, but Ruffin, who has been so dominant today, did get his hands on the football. Conceivably, being able to pull that in would have been an absolute magical play. I mean, that's a catchable football, Mike.
It was.
I mean, it's right in the chest. He's got to haul that in.
That's Devin Pinnock. I think they're treating him for cramps, it looks like. But we're going to take a quick break right now and come back with more championship action.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country.
One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here we are. Adam Tapling, 1st and 3rd and 10 here. Tapling gets away from number 50 and runs out of bounds at the 18-yard line. That is right at the marker. Number 50 on the play, Rashawn Williams, was in pursuit. He does not get there, and he's going to take a knee. And John, obviously we've been dealing with really hot weather today. And while it's cooled down here, the first half was pretty steamy down on the field.
Oh, without question. And, Mike, what you don't want to see here is to have this game get too wide open. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Fox Nation, how are you?
We don't want to get too wide open and get this game sloppy and out of rhythm, because then it's just going to be anybody's game. And I really think when it comes to discipline, the better disciplined team here in this second half is going to have a good chance of taking it out, as we do have a stoppage on the play.
Yeah, we do. So, obviously we've had an opportunity to cover this league for the last couple of years. NPSFL is putting more and more resources into bringing broadcasts like this to you all during the spring. These games typically occur between April and June. I don't think we have any games in March this year, but there's a few months of spring football. All first responders in cities all across America. We have more than a dozen teams right now. I think this year we had about 14 teams in the league. Sometimes it wavers from year to year based on what's going on in these particular cities and their ability to field teams. But players are always going to find a home. Like this Chicago PD Enforcers team has players from other municipalities as well. So it's the Chicagoland area. There's some firefighters on this team as well. NYPD, we have some NYPD, we have EMS, we have, but NYPD obviously a huge number to pull from, over 40,000 cops in New York City.
And number 15, Samson Tai from Chicago, the former quarterback for the San Diego football team, and now a Border Patrol agent.
On 4th and short, they are met at the line of scrimmage. The spot is going to mean a lot here.
No more.
And a huge stop
there. That is
there.
a big stop. I did not see that play coming. They have used Dave Moore in the short yardage situations up to this point. But what do we got here, John?
Well, they're stacking them up at the line of scrimmage.
That is just a massive stop. Dave Moore gets the carry. Anthony Minor was the fullback trying to throw that key block, but Manny Tejada, gang tackle there. Manny Tejada, one of the lead players
and listen,
on the tackle.
Brandon Quinn also in on that stop for NYPD. Not a huge guy, but showing some real toughness there.
All right, here we go. Back to, sorry, John.
No, just an absolutely huge play.
Back to the Thunder and Lightning set, and here's Felder. He squeezes through the line of scrimmage and across the 30-yard line. That Woodley-Felder combo next to Quinlan is deadly, and he gets another 12 yards.
Clive Harding and Billy Sullivan telling me before the game, hey, we're not going to do anything differently. They're doing a lot differently here in the second half.
Agreed. We did
and a
not
huge hole. I mean, you could drive a car through it.
We did not see much of this setup in the first half, and here we are with 5 minutes to go. Here is Woodley this time, jersey grabbed, and they are going to get a flag.
More of a horse collar, maybe?
I don't know if that is a horse collar. He grabbed his jersey, but we'll see. Can we run that one back?
Because that shouldn't be a penalty if it's just a jersey grab.
Let's see what they actually assess here. I don't know. I think they're talking it over. The official from way back in the backfield is the one that threw the flag. I think they're going to pick that one up. I think that's the right call. Maybe not.
It is going to go against Chicago.
Wow, that's a 15-yard penalty. All the way up to the 49-yard line of Chicago. So they get him with a horse collar or face mask, something there on that play, as Woodley has about 10 yards on the run and then another 15 tacked on to the end of it.
A bad break, Mike, for Chicago.
So there's Woodley on the handoff again. He bounces off a tackler, good for 5 yards, up to the 45-yard line. Again, 5 minutes to go here, and we've got a break in the action. We'll head to commercial right now and come right back with more championship action.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise, and I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know. And we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySineseFoundation.org.
Okay, here we go. Quinlan back to pass. He gets it out to Johnson, who's hit right as he catches it, but he does bring it down for a first down. Johnson hit hard.
That was number 27.
He's going to take a knee. I understand why he's taking a knee there. He took a hard hit.
Jalen Woods, Chicago cop.
Jalen Woods been in the middle of a lot of plays today.
I mean, that's Ronnie Lott's style right there. He timed it perfectly. Just boom, right through him. Perfectly legal in the midsection. And that's going to knock the wind out of any player, and perhaps more.
So real quick as we go to our sponsors, Fund the First. FundTheFirst.com is the #1 trusted and free fundraising platform for those who serve their families and their friends. Fund the First is in the business of supporting first responders, military, and medical professionals. Visit FundTheFirst.com to launch your fundraiser. The Billy Moon Foundation, organ donation can profoundly impact not just recipients, but donors and communities as well. We strive to be that lifeline of support for those in need. Please visit BillyMoonFoundation.org for more information on how you can register to become an organ donor today. How about a shout out to my Uncle John?
Let's do it.
My Uncle John, John Blewett, Huntington, New York. Over 30 years of service for NYPD. Worked at the 90th Precinct in Brooklyn for many years. So shout out to him. He's watching at home.
And it's been Felder left, Felder right, Felder up the middle. Felder to the far side.
So you see Felder off tackle here. They're not, like you said, look at Woodley. Just throwing devastating blocks.
Woodley has definitely not gotten as many touches today as his counterpart Felder, but making up for it with blocks like that.
All right, it'll be 2nd and 7 at the Chicago 34. 20-14, 4 minutes and change to go. Felder with the handoff again. He's met at the line of scrimmage. He squeezes past a couple of tacklers down to the 31. Gain of 3. It'll be a big 3rd and 6 here, John.
Big 3rd and 6 indeed. And, one thing Clive Harding, the head coach for the police department of New York City, told me before the game, he said, we've got a great mixture of veterans, new guys, but one word he used, Mike, is maturity. It's one of the more mature groups that he's coached in his career. And I think why that is so telling is it seems to me the New York City Police Department did not panic, although you certainly could have hit the panic button after that first half. They bore down. It's a brand new game and a mature group that has responded very, very well to the pressure Chicago put on them there in the first half.
NYPD Finest calls a timeout, which gives us a timeout. We'll be back with more after this.
What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief. I renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
Okay, we are back at Mitchell Field in the national championship game. Quinlan back to pass on third down. He's got Kyle Johnson good for the first down. It's good for 7, John. At the 25-yard line, Johnson, who got shaken up a couple of plays ago, back on the field making plays.
Johnson hanging his head just a little bit. But a big first down reception from Kyle Johnson. Quinlan out of the shotgun. Goes to his first option, and that's Johnson. Just enough for the first down. And on the march is the New York City Police Department. They trail 20-14.
Here's Woodley off left tackle, and he bulldozes his way for a gain of 4 down to the 21-yard line.
And he stood up by Jack Hightower, number 13 for Chicago PD.
2.5 minutes to go in the third. NYPD getting into a little bit of a rhythm offensively, taking some time off the clock, getting stops defensively. And it's Quinlan with the thunder and lightning backfield of Woodley and Felder. And here's Quinlan back to pass out of that set. And he dumps it off to Woodley. Can't come up with it. He fired it at Woodley way too close. He needed to give him needed to take a little bit off of that one if Woodley was going to catch it.
Well, that'll bring up third down, Mike, and PD able to convert. Their last third down attempt, going to try to do it here.
Curious if they're not able to get something here, John. They passed on the Zabransky kicking opportunity last time around.
Well,
would they look for a 40-yard field goal here?
Well, maybe there's something going on that we don't know about with Zabransky that precluded them from going for it, but they've got third down to try to clean it up.
So here we go. 3rd and 7. Rolling out to his right. He's under pressure. He gets rid of it, does Quinlan, and it falls incomplete. He was nearly sacked, but he's able to come out, able to get away, get rid of that ball.
And Canton Drew.
And on 4th and 7 from the 23-yard line, this is the exact scenario I was just discussing. Go ahead, sorry.
Here's Canton Drew right here, pulls on the back of Quinlan.
That's a horse collar, actually. That play right there.
Certainly disrupted Quinlan's motion. And the pass is incomplete.
And they are not bringing Zabransky out here. It's Quinlan again, walking out here with Felder. Woodley comes off. And he's got number 22, Nico Ramirez, out there as well. 3 receivers bunched to his right, Dice to his left.
Huge
Quinlan
play.
back to pass. He's got wide open Chris McGrain at the 10, the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 3-yard line. First down, NYPD. And a big play.
Chris McGrain had no one within 10 feet of him. Quinlan finds his go-to number 12, McGrain, who puts on the brakes, turns around, and says, "Thank you very much." Inside the 10, across the 5.
Really good play design there by NYPD. Found McGrain wide open. Number 11, Pat Egan, knocks McGrain out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And now here's Thunder and Lightning and this offensive line going to work. They hand it off to Felder. He fights for it, and it's a touchdown. I got to be honest, folks, we couldn't even see it. But Felder and the entire pile just pushed into the end zone.
Felder emerged out of the jaws of Moby Dick. He disappeared and somehow was able to get through into the end zone. And Mike, you got to go back to that 4th down. A huge play going for it on 4th. McGrain with the catch, and Felder on 1st and goal punches it in.
Big time plays by NYPD offense. Here's Zabransky to give NYPD their first lead of the game. We are tied at 20 with 1:45 to go in the third. Oh, bad snap, and it's fumbled. No good. We remain tied at 20. These special teams mistakes plaguing NYPD resulted in a touchdown at the end of the first half, and they sacrifice a huge extra point here. We are tied at 20, Johnny.
I mean, Mike, it's almost fitting. With 1:44 left in the third quarter, PD from New York City had a chance to go ahead on an easy extra point. Nothing's been easy here today at Mitchell Field.
We'll come back with more live action after this.
New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute is a medical center for firefighters, designed by firefighters. As a leading provider of advanced medical screenings, we take pride in offering the best healthcare experience for firefighters and first responders. Since 2002, the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute has been dedicated to screening, diagnosing, and treating first responders and their families each and every day. We provide a broad range of testing and medical care, including cardiac and pulmonary testing, as well as educational seminars focused on firefighter safety throughout the USA and Canada. We are proud to have recently entered into a partnership with the Uniformed Firefighters Association to encourage all firefighters to come in and get tested. New York State awarded a grant to the UFA for testing and cancer screening, and they have partnered with the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute to provide certain services at no cost to the individual. Check out fdnyheart.com or call 516-441-7614 to schedule an individual or group firehouse visit today.
Okay, we are back at Mitchell Field, tied at 20, folks. National championship. Can't ask for much more drama than this. Here's Zabransky with the kickoff. That goes deep to Chicago PD. That is Ruffin, Ruffin's got a lane down the sidelines. He's across the 50. Ruffin's going to go. It's going to be a touchdown for Chicago.
I don't see any flags. Ruffin found his seam, takes it to the near sideline.
Brandon Ruffin with the touchdown. Unbelievable.
A kickoff return for the ages. And Chicago answers right back. And right now, Brandon Ruffin in the conversation for MVP after that one.
Yeah, the touchdown catch in the first half. And a 90, he picked it up around his own 6-yard line. That's going to go down officially as a 94-yard kick return. NYPD defenders falling to the ground, and Ruffin just found that sideline. Zabransky had a chance. Ruffin basically tore his helmet off, showing off his speed.
My.
So they give him a couple of more yards. I think he picked it up on his own 3. It's a 97-yarder, and Ruffin fired up on the sidelines, has every right to be.
I mean, this is turning into a good old punch-in-the-face contest, Mike. It's back and forth seesaw action, and Chicago breaks the tie.
26-0, trying to make it 27 here to regain that 7-point lead, and that is no good.
Oh, my gosh.
Mustafa Young really put a lot of pressure in on that kick, and
that could come out to haunt them as well.
All right, let's take a step back. So much is happening in this game right now. NYPD has botched punts. They have botched a punt snap, which resulted in a touchdown and a 2-point conversion for Chicago. Now, after tying the game, they botch an extra point snap to prevent them from taking the lead, and on the ensuing kickoff, give up a touchdown and somehow get away without the extra point. And it's a 6-point lead. But, John, these special teams gaffes for NYPD are currently costing them the game.
Absolutely. It's been chaos out there, Mike. We've seen a little bit of everything and a crazy start to this second half. PD announcing to the world, we are back. And Chicago refuses to go away.
Yeah, so Chicago, you want to talk about getting punched in the mouth, holding a 14-point lead. Chicago, or a 13-point lead. Chicago gives up the lead and then grabs it right back in this third quarter. Now here's Felder on the kickoff. He's going to get across to the 40-yard line, a short kick, and Felder takes it back to the 40-yard line And we still have time left in this third quarter. Somehow, we've seen 3 touchdowns scored in this third quarter, including back-to-back touchdowns between PD and the Chicago Enforcers. So before we get another step, I wanted to tell you about ECAD. That's Educated Canines Assisting with Disabilities. Our mission is to enable people with disabilities to gain greater independence and mobility by using specially educated dogs. Visit ECAD1.org to learn more about our service dogs program. All right, Johnny. 80 seconds left in this third quarter.
So much for that defensive battle we were all talking about before the game started.
And Woodley rips off a 10-yard gain on first down. I think what we're seeing here, John, is the elements have been tough. It is cooling down now, but we had a blazing hot day during warm-ups, during the first half, and I wonder if these defenses are getting worn out. We've seen a few guys cramp up in this second half, and with under a minute to go, NYPD picks up a first down on first down. That gain good for 12 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Chicago 48. That's Quinlan looking to the sidelines for the call. He's got Woodley next to him. Felder not on the field at the moment. 4 wide. We'll see if Chicago coming with an extra rusher, and he's got McGrain over the middle. McGrain breaks free to the 20, 10-5 touchdown. Chris McGrain, touchdown NYPD, and Devin Quinlan and McGrain hook up again for a huge play.
I mean, Quinlan to McGrain. McGrain's been a different player in this second half, Mike, as you just mentioned. Another huge reception. It was twins to the right. McGrain threads the needle, gets through, and he's all alone for the last 20 yards. Looks behind his shoulder. And Chris McGrain with his second reception.
Number 11, Pat Egan. I think he had a chance at McGrain. He held up. I think he was worried about McGrain cutting back.
And Egan had a huge interception in Chicago's last game against San Diego, but not this time, as McGrain has woken up here in the second half.
All right. So this would be a big extra point, but they are going for 2, not trusting their kicking game right now. And Quinlan's going to roll out to his right, and he throws it behind Obenheim, incomplete, and it is 26-26. We cannot get an extra point completed here. Again, that's 2 in a row for NYPD that they're unable to convert. I know they're concerned about the snapping situation here, John, but I would go back to the well there and get an extra point. It's a tie game. You don't have to
come on. The way this one's going, it's going to come down to one point.
I think Chicago's missed 2. NYPD's missed 2. And I think they both have a... Yeah, NYPD's missed 2. They've scored 4 touchdowns.
3 interceptions, Tapling. Chris McGrain, the CW Post guy, ties it up with 24 seconds to go in the third quarter. Batten down the hatches. Buckle up, everyone. We're getting ready for the final 15.
We've seen 4 touchdowns in this third quarter alone, folks. So we are... NYPD 3 touchdowns, missing 2 extra points, which is leaving this game tied. And Chicago, obviously, with the massive kick return by Brandon Ruffin, I think they're going to be a little hesitant in kicking it his way.
Keep it away from 19!
Number 1, Brandon Brooks. Number 1, Brandon Brooks is back there with Ruffin. So here we go. Zabransky kicks away, and Ruffin is going to pick it up at his own 5. He gets across his 20. He's out on the left sideline, and Ruffin breaks free again across the 50-yard line to the 45. Another huge return for Brandon Ruffin. There's no other way to say it, John. NYPD special teams is a disaster right now.
Brandon Ruffin is an absolute man on fire, and he had a couple of words for the PD of New York City bench, saying, yeah, we're not going anywhere. He busted one open for a touchdown on the last kickoff and nearly does the same here on the opposite sideline. as he's got nothing but daylight. And look at the speed of Brandon Ruffin. And finally brought down by Jonathan Bennett. Number 54 for the PD. But Mike, you said special teams, a third of the game. And a lot of people will say whoever wins the special teams has the best chance to win it all.
Certainly it feels like the case today. There's Pascasio. He breaks one across the left tackle. He's brought down at the 36-yard line after a first down gain, and that should be the last play of the third quarter once they get this set.
Kendall Clark on the tackle for NYPD.
So that'll be it. Last play of the third quarter. We'll head to a break, come back with the final quarter of the NPSFL season to determine the championship.
Dave Portnoy is known as the founder of Barstool Sports and is known for his sharp commentary and down-to-earth one-bite pizza reviews. Dave created the Barstool Fund during COVID and raised $50 million to help small businesses stay afloat.
What worked with the Barstool Fund? They knew they were giving us money, and the money was going right to the businesses they want to give the money to.
People knew where the money is going, and we're 95.1% of every dollar that is raised goes to our great heroes.
Yeah, and that's a huge part. I did all the research. I've known about you guys.
I want to hear what you rate the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Right, which is always high pressure when I'm sitting right next to the guy. It's like, but we'll give it 10, even though I don't generally give 10s. That's a rookie score. We'll give it 10. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't a 10.
You know, we ask for $11 a month.
$11, you get a full pie. You're good to go. You skip one pie.
You skip one pie, and you help a hero and their family that are left behind. So let's do good together.
Let's do it.
First and 10, live at Mitchell Field. Fourth quarter of the national championship game. Pascasio gets the handoff on first down. He's dropped right after a gain of 1. To set the tone, for those of you just joining us, that was the first play of the fourth quarter. We are tied at 26 in the NPSFL championship game. National Public Safety Football League action live from Mitchell Field in Nassau County, New York. It's been a wild one. The third quarter was an incredible quarter. We had 4 touchdowns, 3 for NYPD, but special teams gaps by NYPD have put them in a tough position. They gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown. They've missed they missed an extra point on a bad snap. They failed to convert on a 2-point conversion and then gave up a huge kick return here to Brandon Ruffin with the game tied. Here's Tapling under pressure. He's hit but unloads it over the head of Pascasio, and that'll bring up a third down and 9.
And a great play by Rashawn Williams there for NYPD. We'll take a look at it one more time.
Tapling lucky to get this one away, John.
He just avoids the pressure until the big fella, Rashawn Williams, the lineman, a New York City police officer. So a big play here for Chicago, 3rd and 6.
Correction, 3rd and 9 from the 36-yard line. So this is a big one here for Adam Tapling. We were just talking during the break, John. Chicago's got 4 turnovers today, a fumble and 3 interceptions, and still finds themselves right in the mix with an opportunity to take the lead in this game with 14 minutes to go. All right, Tapling in this empty set that he's liked. 5 wide here, empty backfield, and he goes over the middle. He's got he's got number 82. That is Wade Overton up to the 28-yard line. It's good for 8 yards, but not a first down. It'll be 4th down. Last time they tried a 4th down and short, they were stuffed, John. So we'll see what they come up with here. They bring Pascasio back in on 4th down with 13 and a half minutes to go, and the game tied.
Wade Overton out of the Bellwood Fire Department. And a huge play, Mike, as you mentioned, on 4th down with this ball game tied up at 26.
All right, Tapling back to pass. He's directing traffic. He's got Pascasio there who drops it off the hands. I don't know why Pascasio was so wide open, but he was, and the ball hit off his shoulder pads and falls incomplete.
Yeah,
Here we go.
You can't throw it any better than that, Mike. right into the chest. And a big mystery. Plenty of time for Tapling, who's doing a little tap dancing of his own. And kind of helmet, hands.
He's battling with the sidelines a little bit there. I think he didn't realize he had a little bit more room to play with, but he had heard footsteps. The sidelines are there.
Emo was knocking on the door for NYPD. Pushed him out of bounds.
All right, so a huge stop there for NYPD, or a huge break there for NYPD. They'll take over at their own 28-yard line, and you guessed it, Johnny. Woodley and Felder, the duo. And Felder gets the ball on first down. He's across the 35-yard line, good for a gain of 6 or 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 4.
And, you know, Mike, two of the best teams in the NPSFL, 20 years in existence for Chicago, gunning for their first national championship in 2025. Who wants to be the hero? As advertised, Mike, this is certainly a candidate for the best game of the year, coming on our final broadcast of the year.
Yeah, I certainly don't know of one better than this. We've got this national championship game tied at 26 with 12.5 to go. Here's Quinlan. He gets a quick one off to McGrain, who squeezes across the 40-yard line for a first down. So we've highlighted him a couple of times already in this second half. This Quinlan to McGrain connection has been a big one throughout the course of the season, and they are really relying on it at the most critical times of the year.
It's not only, I think it might be out of necessity, Mike, and I don't want to hamper or talk about it too much, but Quinlan's not running the football nearly as much as he did.
This is true.
In the Fun City Bowl, and got to utilize the receivers. He is improvising. He is doing what he can to win this ball game, and McGrain is the beneficiary of this here in the second half.
That's a very good point, John. Quinlan is normally a guy that we would see take off and perhaps pick up a couple of first downs with his legs. I don't think he's able to do it in the way that he wants to, so he's getting out some quick passes to McGrain. We've seen him target Kyle Johnson a few times today. On that last play on first down, Felder met at the line of scrimmage, and that will lead to a 2nd and 10. We have the Thunder and Lightning set up here again with Woodley and Felder.
It's like superheroes. Thunder
and there's Quinlan is running on this play. He picks up 5. He took a tough hit there.
Some big number 48 for Chicago on the hit against Quinlan. Yeah,
I would not want to get hit by Rick Richardson. I don't want to get hit by anybody, period. But by Rick Richardson, packs a little extra punch here at the middle linebacker position.
Well, Jason Slater is telling me that he's the hardest hitting guy in the NPSFL, the first-year president and chairman for Chicago PD. He called Richardson an absolute animal.
All right, 3rd down and a big 6 here. You've got Quinlan looking downfield. He's got Felder wide open, and he scrambles. He didn't see it coming. He didn't see Felder. Broken play, 5 guys in his face. He tried to get rid of it. Man, if he had Felder, that's a touchdown. Let's see that again, guys. Watch Felder leak out to the right here, John. If he throws it now, we got it. That's a touchdown.
Yeah,
and he didn't see it.
Felder in the flat, Mike, wide open.
It's a big miss there. But what they're going to need to do is get this snap done. They have really struggled on these special team snaps, and Zabransky's back for a punt here. We'll see if they can pin Chicago deep. And Ruffin back to receive.
Let's hope the snap's okay. Let's try to get that straight. And it's
not. It's on the ground, and it's blocked. That ball is tipped, and it's going to roll forward a little bit. They have to down it there.
So the snaps continue to plague the NYPD.
It's just unbelievable. Special teams is costing them this game. We'll take a quick break and come back with more after this.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
All right, Chicago PD enforcers back to take over on offense at midfield, their own 47-yard line after another special teams mistake by NYPD. A botched snap led to the punt being partially blocked, and that's where they take over. Quick screen to Yancey. He gets across the 50, across the 45. That's good for about 7 on first down for Chicago PD. We are under 10 minutes to go by the time this next snap happens, John. And let's take a look at the punt.
The missed, the bad snap into the ground. Not a whole lot.
I don't even know if they got a hand on it. It looked like they had initially, but he just did everything he could to get it off and not get it blocked, and it resulted in the ball getting. It ended up in a 7-yard punt, I believe.
Oh,
so here we are on second down. Piscasio gets it across the right side and across the first down marker. Actually, great run there by Piscasio. Good for almost 10 yards and a first down. So Chicago PD on the 30 will take over at the 35-yard line of NYPD Finest. It's 1st and 10.
And Piscasio only seems to be getting stronger as this game is approaching the final 9 minutes here in the fourth quarter. I love the swagger from Piscasio, making that drop just moments ago. He left that one behind, and you got to do that here. 26-all. And Chicago putting together another effective drive.
All right, 1st and 10 at the 35. Dave Moore takes the handoff here. He's met at the line of scrimmage but barrels forward for a gain of 2 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 8 from the 33-yard line.
And Daniel Effinger in on the tackle for NYPD. And Mike, this is the kind of thing, it could come down to the last possession. The last series.
The special teams mistakes, we can say now, John, have cost them dearly. But they still have an opportunity to win this game. Unfortunately, they're going to have to make special teams plays, both offensively and defensively, to try to win it. We're at just about the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter. And we got a power set here from Chicago, and the handoff is to it's a fake handoff. They got Ruffin in double coverage. He goes to single coverage the other side, underneath to Yancey. Is that complete? It is. First down, Trent Yancey.
I mean, Mike, there are any number of receivers from the Chicago team that you could highlight. None better than number 17, Yancey's already got a touchdown in this game. And looking to his left, Tapling doesn't see anything, goes to his right. He's got the time to look at his third option, which is Yancey, who tiptoes the sideline, stays in bounds, and makes a wonderful catch. But that's such a great example there of what number 8 can do for Chicago. Patience, patience.
Great job by the Chicago PD offensive line as well. They held off NYPD. No pressure whatsoever on this play. Let's see what we got. And they got Tapling going back to pass. He fires it to the end zone. Wow, that is a dangerous throw. He threw it away, but Mustafa Young had a chance at picking that off.
He had a beat on it. I mean, yeah, he got it out of the end zone, but wisely, Tapling throws it out of bounds. First down.
They brought pressure on that one, so he was feeling it. Clark is in there. It looked like Tejada was in there, so they brought a couple of extra defenders to put pressure on Tapling. It worked, as he is now going to be facing 2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line. $7:28 to go, John. So halfway through this fourth quarter, we are still tied at 26. Oh, Piscasio gets the carry, slips behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 12. Couple of key plays here for Chicago. They have struggled to kick the ball as well. I don't know that Chicago is going to feel particularly comfortable in a field goal situation.
We shall see, but they've got another down to figure it out. And another slip there. This time, Piscasio goes down. Very humid out. The temperature, Mike, as you said, has dropped, but these guys have got to be exhausted as we're under 7 minutes to go. Number 88 coming onto the field for Chicago. Chris Andrew Pena out of the Des Plaines PD.
Chris Lenti, the kicker for Chicago, has missed 2 extra points today. We'll see if he has an opportunity after this 3rd down play to give Chicago a lead. But
trips left.
Plenty to happen before that opportunity. Here's tapping back to pass. He's going to scramble, and he's brought down by Tejada. The ball's loose. NYPD jumps on it. That is a fumble, and it is NYPD ball.
Manny Tejada with the strip.
They are sorting it out on the field. We'll see. Is he going to be ruled down? Is he going to be ruled down?
The ball appeared to pop loose, Mike, on the Tejada strip tackle. As Tapling looks left, he had trips to the left, doesn't see anything here, and he runs into...
Great job by Tejada fighting off of that block.
Boom.
First down, finest.
Ooh, I think he's down, Johnny. We don't have the other angle, but Chicago certainly wanted that. That's their 5th turnover today, Chicago. They certainly wanted that to be ruled down. That would have been 4th and very long and probably out of field goal range for them. But as it stands right now, 1st and 10 NYPD at the 27-yard line. Felder's going to get it on first. He gets to the outside. He's past the 30, past the 35, and a late hit. No, is that a late hit?
That was number 9, Michael Applehands with the hit.
Felder's so quick, just outraces all the defenders there.
And that's a first down.
And they can't bring him down before he gets a first down.
Carlin Enzo, there are 2 number 9s.
There are 2 number 9s.
Chicago.
And here's Woodley up the middle, good for 8, upended.
William Woodley.
That is William Woodley, good for 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 2. And now, John, the clock is the friend of the NYPD. We've got under 5.5 minutes to go. We are tied at 26. Nobody wants to kick anything, and they're going to try to grind this out.
Well, we can't start thinking about playing with the clock. They just
there's Felder. He busts through the middle of defense, and he's across the 40-yard line. Down to the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
Mike,
NYPD
this
starting to lean on it.
has been the Justin Felder show, especially here in the 4th quarter. You couldn't meet a more gracious, humble kid in Justin Felder. And I personally could not be happier for the 2024 national champion, the University of New Haven. Looking to make it back-to-back here. Can PD do it from New York City?
Woodley gets the handoff. He's being dragged from behind, but he still fights forward for 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. We have 4.5 minutes to go.
Mike, I know we've seen a lot of mistakes in this one, but these guys are letting it all hang out. They are leaving it on the field. And it's going to be a shame to see anybody lose this game.
I think we've got 5 significant special teams mistakes by NYPD, but that's counteracted by Chicago's 5 turnovers. And obviously in this tie game, we're going to be looking at overtime in a game like this, but NYPD with 4 minutes to go in position to put it inside the red zone. Felder gets it on 2nd down. And he can't. It's just impossible to bring down. They can't bring it down.
He is so slippery. Low center of gravity. We mentioned Felder. Woodley combining for nearly 300 yards in the Fun City Bowl. Back at it again here today in the national championship game here in Uniondale, New York.
We'll come back and close out this national championship game on Fox Nation right after this.
What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here we are back. 3:46 to go in the fourth quarter. National championship game of the NPSFL. Title on the line right here. NYPD grinding away in this drive to try to take the lead. And that is Felder met at the line of scrimmage on first down. I'd imagine NYPD will take their time setting up for second down. They'll try to get rid of some clock here, but again, they're not going to trust their kicking game. They didn't even kick an extra point last time down when that would have given them the lead.
That was a great play by Vic Sealask for Chicago. You make a good point, Mike. Hey, I also want to give a shout out to Steve Bongiovi, our PA announcer today, doing a great job. A long-time veteran public address announcer here out on Long Island.
And thanks to Fox Nation again for simulcasting 4 of our games this season, including this one. Thank you all for tuning in this entire season. Lots of drama left in this game as Quinlan rolls out to pass. He's under pressure. He gets rid of it, but it is incomplete.
And he got hit hard, Mike.
He did get hit hard, Johnny.
And he's slow to get up. In on the hit for Chicago was number 90, Drew Canton. And he's actually a firefighter.
Here it is again. But Quinlan drilled right at the sidelines as he tried to get rid of it. It's Drew Canton, pressure.
And then boom. Oh.
Right in the rib cage. And who do we have out there? Is that Obenheim? No.
Brings up a 3rd and 11.
No,
Quinlan's
90
back with
up.
the pursuit. But the hit.
Quinlan is back on his feet. Tough dude. Oh no, he's got to sit out for a play. That's what I thought. So they had an injury timeout. Here's O'Connell. O'Connell's got to come in.
His first appearance today, Mike.
Yes, that's right.
The savvy veteran.
That is Anthony O'Connell.
And we've seen everything.
Yeah.
And now it's Anthony O'Connell
on a crucial 3rd down here.
I mean, this could be the game.
O'Connell back to pass. He's under pressure. He gets rid of it. That is Brian Dice on the catch. What a catch. They do give him the catch. Picked it up off the turf. And O'Connell comes in ice cold and throws a first down.
You talk about clutch. Anthony O'Connell has not seen the game at all. In the final stages, comes in on a huge 3rd down. And the rangy right-hander, calm in the pocket, lucky 13, delivers the strike.
What a catch by Dice.
Oh my gosh.
And Quinlan's back in. We're running up against the 2-minute warning. I don't know where the play clock sits or if they're going to snap it. I think they're going to run right
and
up
how fitting.
Against the 2-minute warning.
13 national championships and a first down from number 13 as
they are
Quinlan
snap
now.
It, and then Felder's going to be off the left side. Felder to the 5, and it is a touchdown for Justin Felder. He tried to walk it in and even drilled him at the goal line to try to keep him out. But a touchdown for Justin Felder right at the 2-minute warning, Johnny.
Mike, look, I'm no astrology guy. I'm no numbers guy. But number 13, O'Connell, comes in They've got 13 national championships. He gets the first down. Quinlan returns, gives to his number one back.
Woodley with an absolutely devastating block again.
And, you know, Mike, he's done it all game long. You talk about unselfish. It was Woodley, the MVP in the Fun City Bowl. He's now giving the crown to his teammate, the youngster, number 5, Justin Felder, puts New York City on top, 32-26, as they'll finally try to get an extra point, Mike.
2-minute warning coming back. We'll see that extra point right after this.
What the heck is this? We're doing brand deals now, huh?
Chad, it makes sense.
Sheesh! Just because we're both cut from the same stuff of American legends, right here in the good old US of A?
Kinda.
Just because we're both for America, by America? Just because Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer is 100% American made?
Yes, Chad. Yes.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Justin Felder with his second touchdown run of the second half, right at the 2-minute warning, gives NYPD a 6-point lead. They will try to convert an extra point here, which they have been unable to do in this second half. Here's the snap. Mustafa Young on the hold, Zabransky up and good. There it is, 33-26. And that gives them a 7-point lead, John. Lots of drama in this game. But when it came to the clutch plays of the game, Anthony O'Connell comes in for one play after Quinlan gets shaken up and throws a seed to Brian Dice, who dives and gets the big first down.
I mean, we've seen literally everything in this game. Nothing more symbolic than the third down conversion by Anthony O'Connell to Felder. And then Felder putting it in for 6. Justin Felder has been out of his mind today.
Yeah.
And certainly, if PD can hang on here, Felder in the conversation for MVP for sure.
Yeah, look, this is a 26-point second half for NYPD. So they've put up 4 touchdowns here in the second half. They've worn Chicago down. Chicago the victim of 5 turnovers, but Brandon Ruffin has, with that huge kick return in the second half, flipped the field on NYPD for a minute. They are going to be scared to kick to him right now. So we'll see exactly how they're able to execute here. Brandon Brooks back with Brandon Ruffin.
You'd kick it nowhere near number 19.
Yeah, I'd rather take it out to the 35-yard line and boot it through the back of the end zone like he was able to do earlier in the game. Let's see what Zabransky has lined up for us. Obviously, these dynamic kickoff rules can be enormous here. And he kicks it short, and Ruffin is going to field it at his own 2-yard line. Here's Ruffin going across field. They do have him covered up on this play. He's fighting for additional yardage and is knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Plenty of time left. 1:46 to go. Down 7, title on the line. Tapling and the Chicago PD enforcers are going to be going for the title here. It's a title championship drive.
Adam Landisberg for NYPD number 31 saying not this time, as he's zeroed in on the kick return specialist for Chicago. And Mike, you said this sets the stage with 1:46 to go. Chicago trails 7. Does Tapling have it in him to pull out a Tom Brady moment on a last drive? We shall see. A very fitting.
Lots of time. Lots of time. Time not a factor in my mind. They've got timeouts. And
the game of the year.
He's got his guy Piscasio next to him, and he gets it out to Yancey. Yancey tries to make a move, goes nowhere. Second down and 8.
And Kendall Clark with the exclamation point.
Now they have to hurry. Did not use a timeout there. They're going to need to hurry it up.
Fans, be sure to stay tuned for our post-game award ceremony and our MVP interview.
President Jeff Price will be presenting the National Championship Trophy and the MVP award. And there he's got some, oh man. Tapling had Piscasio out in the flat with room to run, and he underthrew it.
And Piscasio puts his hands to his helmet.
He knows they had something big there. On Your Six Bourbon Whiskey, inspired by everyday heroes like nurses, police officers, teachers, and firefighters who make this country so loved and respected. We keep the military tradition of grabbing a drink to celebrate someone who's got your six. Visit onyour6.com today to purchase your first bottle. All right, here we go, folks. 71 seconds to go. Third down for Chicago PD. So clock and distance a factor right now. Tapling finds himself in shotgun formation. They are going empty. That has been successful for them this entire game. Nobody there to block. NYPD not sending anybody extra, and Tapling goes over the middle, and that is short. I think he was looking for Ruffin there, John, and he comes up incomplete.
Chicago down to the final play here on fourth down with 1:06 to go. It's do or die. Chicago looking for their first ever national championship. But after a huge turnaround in the second half, the NYPD came out like a team possessed.
I'd like to thank a special shout out to New York Channel 48 WWON. It's an online station, and on Roku for simulcasting our New York games this season, including this one.
The PD crowd on their feet. Fourth down for Chicago.
Championship on the line.
They've got trips to the left.
The stop for NYPD gives them the national championship. It'll be their 14th since 1998. Here's Tapling back to pass. He's under pressure, and he's going to take off. He's going to run for the first down and extend this game. Tapling gets a huge 7-yard run. His athleticism has been a theme the entire day. We're in the final minute, and Tapling saves it.
Tapling saves the day. Mr. Cool looks to his right. Nothing doing. Pocket collapses. He steps up. He's got daylight.
First down at the 34.
He sees exactly where the marker is. And the 7-year veteran for the Chicago Enforcers extends their shelf life just a little bit now with under a minute to go. It's first down, Chicago.
58 seconds. Ball at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Piscasio goes in motion to his left. Here's Tapling. He got Piscasio in the flat, good for a few yards, right near the first down marker. I think that's good for 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And the clock stops at 51.
Brutal hit here on the sidelines at the end of the play.
Piscasio with the reception and the scamper. Boom.
Mustafa Young met at the sideline along with Ime. 51 seconds to go. 2nd and 2 from their own 42.
And unless you've got a Francis Cole on your team, that's a little homage kicker. This could set up for a field goal, Mike. You never know. They're going to need quite a few more yards, though, to get into that position.
All right, here's Tapling back to pass. In the flat again to Piscasio. Complete again. That ball's inbounds. I think Chicago might have to use one here, and they do.
Another first down.
And they do.
For Chicago PD.
All right, 40 seconds to go. We'll take a quick break and come right back with the end of this game.
For over 2 decades, Rigging NYC Contractors, Inc. has been the go-to provider of rigging services in New York City. Specializing in construction and industrial rigging, as well as machinery moving, we are dedicated to delivering safe and timely solutions. Our team consists of licensed master riggers, operating engineers, Teamster drivers, steam fitters, and iron workers. No matter the industrial or construction application, we have the lifting solution for you. In addition to rigging services, we offer specialized trucking services to handle equipment and materials. Our fleet of tractor trailers and experienced drivers make us the premier choice for New York trucking, including oversized freight and heavy loads. When it comes to rigging, trust the experts, the licensed master riggers at Rigging NYC Contractors. Contact us today for more information and let us make your next project a resounding.
We are back live at Mitchell Field. 40 seconds to go. First down, Chicago. Tappling back to pass. He's under pressure. He's scampering back, and that ball's going to be picked off by NYPD. Earl Lucas is going to go. One man to beat. Down at the 4-yard line. That's the ball game. Earl Lucas with a championship-winning play. Tappling under pressure. Their 6th turnover of the day. Tappling distraught down at the 4-yard line. I think he felt like he had to do a lot on that play, John. But he threw that one up for grabs, and Earl Lucas makes the game-winning play.
Listen, my heart goes out to Adam. He's done everything in his power to keep this Chicago team alive, especially here in the final moments of the 4th quarter. But Earl Lucas with the final nail in the coffin. 6 turnovers. Tappling in trouble.
Mo Evans in his face.
And he just kind of heaves it up.
Yeah, he's off his back foot, and Lucas just read the play.
My goodness. Mike, I'm going to head down to the field to collect our MVP.
I think Lucas' 2nd interception of the day, and that seals the national championship. It'll be their 14th since 1998. A heartbreaker for Chicago. 6 turnovers, unfortunately for them. Lots of special teams caps on NYPD. And Felder is actually going to carry the ball into the end zone for the touchdown. I thought they were going to kneel on it, but they punch it in for the touchdown to make it 39-26. That's the ball game, obviously, but NYPD putting another one on the scoreboard, and they're going to go for 2 here. Quinlan in the setup, dual backfield. Felder's going to bounce it out again, and he's going to get a 2-point conversion. Justin Felder, 4 second-half touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. An MVP performance, there's no doubt about it. He's the MVP of this league, folks. I've called it for a number of games. Justin Felder is the best player I've watched all season. He's an incredible talent. Like John said, won the Division II National Championship at New Haven and secures a national championship for his NYPD teammates here today. With 19 seconds to go, 41-26, and Chicago will be setting up for the kickoff. You know, the Tunnel to Tower Foundations since 9/11 have been helping America's heroes by providing mortgage-free homes to Gold Star and fallen first responder families. We're also committed to eradicating veteran homelessness and helping America to never forget September 11th, 2001. Visit T2T.org for more information or to make your donation today. At the Garrison East Foundation, we serve our nation by honoring our defenders, veterans, first responders, their families, and those in need. We create and support unique programs designed to entertain, educate, inspire, strengthen, and build communities. Visit GarrisonEastFoundation.org to learn more and how you can contribute to our mission. Excuse me. It's a big party here for the NYPD fans in attendance, and certainly on the sidelines for the national champs. Excuse me. Lots of excitement. John Heffernan going to be down on the field for the MVP interview. Flag on the play. The ball did not reach the landing zone. Brandon Ruffin picks it up. He's going to try and make something happen and steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line. They're going to move that game. They're going to move that up.
There was a flag on the play.
Pushing and shoving here at the end of it. Obviously, it's been a big battle. Tempers. We're going to cut away from that for a second. Obviously, it's been a well-fought game. These are first responders. And at the end of this game, clearly, people got upset, and we're going to cut away from that. It's not what we want you to see on this broadcast on Fox Nation, on NPSFL, YouTube network. I understand why people would be heated at the end of a game like this. It was hard fought. This was a tie game until under 2 minutes to go. NYPD punches it in with Justin Felder. 4 second-half touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. If I had to ask an honest question, I don't know why NYPD punched in that last touchdown. Could have kneeled on it at the end of the game. It might not be knowing any of this, but it's their right to.
That's the end of the game with a final score. NYPD finals 41. I'm going forward to 26. Congratulations, Russ. 35. Harding.
But NYPD, the best team all year, comes out on top, 41-26. Their 14th national championship since 1998, and they are back-to-back champs. Tremendous performance. We'll head to a break right now, come back with the national championship celebration.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country.
One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
There it is. That was John Heffernan, my partner in crime here with Justin Felder, the MVP of the 2025 National Championship game, NYPD Finest 41, Chicago Enforcers 26. Hard-fought game right to the end. Felder with 4 second-half touchdowns. Incredible performance by him and NYPD coming back from a 20-7 deficit at halftime. I have to thank my production crew, Tom, Jamie, Jeff, Brian, and Christian. Tremendous work all season long. Obviously, our partners at Fox Y48 WWON and Real American Beer. America at its best. America is at its best when united, and if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's the simple pleasure of sharing a beer. That's why we started Real American Beer, to bring people together one beer at a time. Sounds like a good time for a beer right now. Visit therealamerican.com today to find out where real American beer is sold near you. So just an unbelievable performance by NYPD, coming back from 2 touchdowns down. Adam Tapling, the Chicago Enforcers quarterback, really fought a hard battle. He showed a lot of athleticism today. Turnovers plagued their team with 6 on the day. NYPD overcame their special teams mistakes and really showed why they're able to win the national championship this year. Just an offensive line and a running back duo led by Justin Felder and William Woodley that were incredible for the entire season. Even today, when Woodley wasn't toting the rock, he was throwing devastating blocks and freeing Felder to get outside for yet another touchdown run. 4 second-half touchdowns and the 2-point conversion sparks them to the victory. We'll take a quick break right now, come back to wrap up our final broadcast of the 2025 season.
We're here today right outside Colorado Springs to welcome home DT and his family here in the beautiful smart home that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has just completed.
I got hurt December 2005 in Afghanistan, and that day we're out on a mission and I got hit by an IED while I was in my truck. Today we're in my home that Tunnel to Tower built for me. A smart home is someone that's disabled like myself, kind of makes their lives a little easier. The thought that I don't have to worry about paying a mortgage.
We're asking all Americans to donate $11 a month. This is where your money's going, and this is what we're doing with it.
You know, some of us came back, some of us didn't, and thank God for organizations like Tunnel Towers. They're able to be there to help us when we need it.
Well, that's it, folks. Thank you for watching. It's been a tremendous season right here on the NPSFL Network and Fox Nation. We appreciate all of you watching, tuning in to watch these first responders put it on the line. They put it on the line every day to help our communities and keep our communities safe. But to do it in the manner that they do it here on the football field is really impressive. So I appreciate their effort. I hope you did too. We'll be back next season with more action. Congrats to the NYPD Finest on another national championship. And on behalf of T&D Productions, Andy Singleton, and everybody else involved with these productions, my partner John Heffernan, I'm Mike Blewett saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.